Hello world. It is yours truly, G. Cole, from Homegrown G. Cole. Just want to invite you to the Love Doctor series. We're going to talk some things. Yep, just what he said.
I'm your love doctor. Call me anytime you need me, baby.
You heard what he said. Haha. We're going to talk life. We're going to talk love. We're going to talk relationships.
I'm your love doctor. Call me anytime you need me, baby. Just call me anytime.
Yep, call me. Listen, I can't bring old boy back. I can't bring old girl back. I don't know what you did. Maybe it is you. You know you got an attitude sometimes. Grandma always said if you're gonna cop an attitude, make sure you can cook. You gotta balance it out, but your grits is off. You know what I mean? Your rice and peas, it ain't there. Fellas, I'm just saying, sometimes it's y'all be tripping, acting like you're in the man in these streets. I'm the mediator. I'm just devil's advocate. Don't blame me. I can't do nothing more than just hear you out. It's the Love Doctor, baby. I'm here.
Damn!
Hey, Anise, how are you? So good to see you, my UK fam. Camille, I see Brooklyn's in the building. What's up? Large up my UK fam, large up my New York fam. Jersey's here, Connecticut is here. It's a vibe, trust me. Brand new series we got going on. Listen to the voice of Miss Althea Hewitt. Yes, man.
Cherish the day. I won't go astray. I won't be afraid. You won't catch me running. Oh, cherish the day. I won't go astray. I won't be afraid. I won't run away.
We got a massive in Fort Lauderdale. What's up, ZZ? It's been a minute, not you? You mad at me? I love you. Why you vexing me? Tell me what I do. What I do? I'm harmless. I'm so harmless. I haven't pulled it up from the top. Just for you, just for you, just for you. Hey June, how are you?
Want to go to heaven.
La Vie, what's up? What's up, sis? How you doing? How you doing?
Cherish the day. I won't go astray. I won't be afraid. You won't catch me running. You're ruling the way that I move. You take my hand. You show me how deep love can be. Cherish the day. I won't go astray. I won't be afraid. You won't catch me running. Oh, cherish the day. I won't go astray. I won't be afraid.
Wishing everybody at work a great evening.
Run away.
Hope you get a chance to enjoy, kick back, you know. Turn the sounds up. Listen some tunes, some convo. Nah, I mean. Ain't nothing but a vibe, right?
Show me how deep love can be. Yeah. Yeah, show me how deep love can be. This is my breath.
So good to see you, ZZ. So good.
Cherish the day. I won't go astray. I won't be afraid.
Hey, Annette. How are you, Annette? How's it going?
Cherish the day. Won't go astray. I cherish the day.
Hey, Vivine. How's it going?
I cherish the
Last night I had a crazy dream. A wish was granted just for me. It could be for anything. I didn't ask for money or a mention in Malibu. I simply wished for one more day with you.
Hey, Cheryl.
One more day,
In chilly Toronto.
more time.
Wishing you nothing but warmth, my friend.
Sunset, baby, I'll be satisfied. But then again, I know what it would do. And leave me wishing still for one more day with you. One more day, yeah.
Clarissa.
Do is pray for time to
How you doing?
crawl. I'd unplug the telephone, keep the TV off. I'd hold you every second, say a million I love yous. That's what I do for one more day with you. One more day, one more time, one more sunset, baby, I'll be satisfied. wishing still for one more day with you. One more day, one more time.
What up, boys?
One more sunset, baby, I'll be satisfied.
My favorite twins. What's going on, fellas? How you doing?
What it would do.
Hanging out with Mom Dukes.
It leave me wishing still for one more day.
I love that. I love that.
Leave me wishing still for one more day. It leave me wishing still for one more day.
Mad respect going out to Aqua Gem Records. It's the Clive Davis. It's the Clive Davidson dropping number hits, man. Dope, 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 dope label, all right? Let's get some OG, some classics. Tell me y'all feeling this joint right here. Patricia.
Now it's up to me to bow out gracefully. Though you hold the key, but baby, whenever you call me, I'll be there. Whenever you want me.
Can't tell I'm the guy in the spot with just the two moves. Ain't got nothing more but two dance moves. Two-stepping it all night, but it's all good. Works, you know what I mean? You ain't never too fast. You ain't never too slow. You just in the pocket. You know what I mean?
This is a fork in the road. Love's dance episode. There's nowhere to go. Oh no, you made a choice. Now it's up to me to bow out gracefully. Though you hold the key, but baby, whenever you call me, I'll be there. Whenever you want me, I'll be there. Whenever you need me, I'll be there. I'll be around.
Mr. Winston Francis.
I knew just what to say.
I'ma give you a little lighter action.
Now I found out today that all the words had slipped away. But I know there's always a chance.
It's on, baby.
Tiny spark will remain. And sparks turn into flames. And love can burn once again. Well, I know you know. Whenever you call me, I'll be there. Whenever you want me, I'll be there. Whenever you need me, I'll be there. Yeah, I'll be around.
this is Wayne Wonder saying J. Cole, legal businessman. Bang, bang, boom.
I mean say this a protege, eh? Homegrown with G Cole, what you say, eh? Well, make them know what reggae music we a play, eh? Hey, this is Protege, the one and only representing for G Cole, you know. Check it. He's out.
And we said them not got no style like we. G Cole, them not got no style like we. None of them no wicked nor wild like we. Accurate, Kabaka Pyramid representing for the #1 selector on Radio House. It's all about G Cole. Keep it locked. Accurate.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl Kali. I'm hanging out with your boy G Cole on the Homegrown Show.
Yes. Welcome one and all. It is Homegrown with G Cole coming to the Massive and Crew live across the globe. I got to big up everybody right now listening in Radio Land, everybody on Royal Zion Highness Radio, everybody listening in on Real Vibes Live, and of course those people listening in on homegrownwithgcole.com. Big up the YouTube fam too. The YouTube fam always say we're leaving out number. We got you covered, all right? All those people watching on YouTube, big up, all right? Everybody watching in on the Jamaicans.com platform, those people watching on the Homegrown with G Cole platform, thank y'all so much. As always, we start the program off by giving love, shout out, much respect, thanks, appreciation, all that good stuff to all my essential people, those people on the front lines putting it in for us. Nurses, doctors, paramedics, first responders, those people working in emergency rooms, firefighters, right? My radiology people, my pediatric people, the good law enforcement professionals, not the trash ones, not the whack ones, but the good law enforcement professionals. If that's you, all love. If that ain't you, boom. All right? So, just want to send love your way. All my courier people, all those people out there doing what they do, making sure my packages get to me on time. Thank y'all so much. I'll be ordering a lot of stuff, and I need y'all. All right? Need y'all very, 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 very much. I got to also big up the restaurateurs out there, and everybody can cook. Y'all saving a lot of relationships in these places, all right? Keep doing what you do. All right? Big up the Uber drivers, them, all the cab drivers, everybody at the airport, the flight people, you know what I mean? I got to travel a lot, and y'all make it easy. So, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Remember to subscribe to the Homegrown with G Cole YouTube channel when you get a chance. If you're on Facebook, chill, stay where you at. But once we're done and you're out of here, go subscribe to that YouTube channel. There's some stuff over there that you're not going to get on here. You know, every now and then I'm on radio and I got some stuff going on that I can't really bring to you on Facebook Live or whatever the case may be. So it's there, right? But if you're subscribing to the channel, then you'll always be kept abreast with what's going on, all right? Social media, at my G Cole, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And of course, the podcast Homegrown with G Cole is available on iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Radio.com, YouTube, wherever you listen to your podcast, we are there. It is a Love Doctor series, baby. All right? I got to big up last week's guest, Miss Natasha Martin. And of course, this episode and this series comes to you courtesy of Scented Delight Candles. I'm telling you, I'm a candle guy now, straight up. No joke. See it there? I got it in hand, all right? This one is Serenity. 6 different fragrances, but it mud lasts 70 to 72 hours. Way longer than the average candle. And again, I'm a candle guy now. My wife loves it. I love it. Woo, baby. I just leave the box open here, and I made the box nice on the whole 9. And it comes with a lighter in the box. So when I'm ready for burn a fire for them, When it's a big tune, I'm going to get them a lighter. We can do them, you know what I mean? It's interactive. Let me explain how it goes. Big tune, lighter, left hand, you know what I mean? Fire for your foolishness, right hand, fire. Short flames, like fire. You know what I'm saying? Well, we got vibes going on. Today's guest, Mr. Sean Garrity. All right? Very popular gentleman in these streets. You know what I mean? You all know him as the media personality, the track and field guy, right? When people lose their races, they call him to find out why the hell they done lost the race. You know what I'm saying? You know, if they win, they probably call him to say, whatever you told me worked, big dog. You know what I'm saying? That's how it works. All right? Probably got a whole bunch of Kingston school politics going on, because you know how y'all Kingston school people, more politics than JLP and PNP. But yeah, I mean, that's their thing. I'm from Ocho Rios. We don't do that. Julian Lee, what's poppin'? So good to see you. But again, we're talking life, man. It ain't the hookup segment. So ladies, I mean, just like I said last week, we ain't sending you on no dates, all right? Don't be calling and harassing my guests talking about chocolate guy. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? None of that. Well, that's how well I raise them. We're going to slide this one joint, and then we're getting into it, all right? Keep it moving, keep it grooving. It's Homegrown. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Kevin Carter. The sounds of Kevin Carter is called Key to the World. What up, Hope? How you doing? Hello, world. Hey, Julian Lee. Y'all ready for a good vibe? Coach Joe Wagwan, fam. What up, what up, what up, what up? ZZ. We said the reincarnation of MJ Yardstyle, the boy bad, the youth bad, but I tell no lie. Ladies and gentlemen, again, Love Doctor series, man. I'm trying to get educated myself so that I could bring the news and bring the value to y'all out in these streets. And today, my special guest, again, Mr. Sean Garrity. I'm going to pop up on these microphones because you, me, and everybody know y'all ain't coming for me. You know what I mean? Everybody want to hear what the Sean Garrity has to say. Let me get everything on point for you. You can't hear me?
Yeah. We can hear you loud and clear.
You can't. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sean Garrity, welcome to the program, sir.
Yes, I.
So first of all, I want to say, saw your program the other day. Love it. You know, a lot of us are trying to get our track because I know how I am. I am not what we call a track and field fan. I am a Shelley fan. I'm a UCN fan. I'm a Ilian fan. I'm a specific people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's folks like yourself that can
Break it down
and get us involved. You know, people, when it comes to this thing, a lot of us are faking the funk and acting like say we're following the thing all the time when we know we ain't. So, you know what I mean? We just keeping it a buck. Keeping it a buck. It is the Love Doctor series. I have a certain, just a few questions that generally everybody gets asked, right? And then after that, there's reason.
Well, you move like Kendra G or
I'm just moving like I'm the guy on the couch, man. That's all that is. I'm just here to learn something.
Before you move still, them candles something, yeah.
Yeah.
Zine. Let me smell that one, yeah.
It mad, man.
All right, the one that smells stingy. I like it. If you understand what I'm saying, stingy, like an orange. What flavor this is?
It's called
let me look.
It says
Serenity.
Serenity.
Okay.
It have that sweet.
Yeah,
you know?
kind of sweet.
It's sweet, but not overly potent.
Right.
It's like a sweet fresh kind of a vibe. You know what I mean? You bring that to them, ladies gonna love it, man. Ladies gonna love it.
But you know what, say me is a essential oils guy. I like do my thing through the diffuser.
Oh.
Zine.
What's the deal with that? Because some people them into the diffuser and the aromatherapy vibe and all them things.
Yeah. Let me tell you still, when me there in New York, me used to see the man them sell oil on the roadside, Fulton and Flatbush have them place. I say, yo, fire upon them on this. So eventually now, because some man I tell you say need this for da. And later on, way later in life, you know, my ex-wife, she did put me on essential oils. I'm gonna say, yo, them things smell nice. And then you get the diffuser. The diffuser just it have some of them come in, let's make a light something.
Yeah.
So you get like a nice little romantic feeling. Even if you not try the romance, you know?
Right,
you just get a nice vibe.
Ambiance.
Yeah, the ambiance. That's the word I was looking for. The ambiance just right.
Yeah.
You know, and thank God, we just learned this. You know, it's upon some smart TV now, you can't have picture off, so all you can do is hear the sound.
Right.
So I finally learned that. So I go up on like a nature channel, turn on the TV on a YouTube channel, have it played, you know, the little the waves or whatever I play, nighttime sounds.
Yeah.
What them call the sound there? Whatever them call the sound there. And you have your diffuser.
Yeah.
It's a nice, relaxing vibe.
Cool, man.
Got the room dark.
So no lights.
No lights.
Just the sound.
Just the sound.
The nature sounds and your essential oils
And the essential oils
permeating
burn.
through the room.
Yes, I.
Jano.
But may I tell you why I'm going to do
big
candles though?
explain.
Because as I liquid one time, we'd have a candle that burn. It did up on a plate.
This ain't going well.
Nope. It up on a plate, G-Code. Right?
Jano.
And my mother in the living room, me and my brother in the living room, all of we in the living room and watch TV. But when me there, me have a little, in the corner of my eye, I can sit down the hallway to my room. And I said, but wait, why the room looks so bright?
Essential oils, a candle.
And no light no turn on in there.
Yeah.
So me and my bright self now go look.
Yeah.
When me look, gee, not the Chester jar up on fire.
The whole thing.
Not the whole thing. The first jar we brief them.
So you're no draws for about a month.
Lucky me be and put on a new one already.
They say, all of my Superman underoos done went up in flames.
Brethren. And, you know, my brother come and see it and start freak out. Mommy see it and she a freak out. And I say, yo, relax. So I come to like a Superman. I tell my brother if he take down the curtain while lead outside. I'm going to pull out the drawer with the fire and walk with it outside to the grass and put it on the grass and I'm out it.
Cool now, man.
I should have just text my father if he takes a picture right now.
It's cool and collected in.
Yeah, because they just are still there now.
Yeah.
Still there at house. That's about 40 years old now.
It's funny how, and maybe that's our senses of security can protect us at times, and so we don't freak out. Your flame situation came as a kid. My flame situation came as an adult. I was at not this house, but the previous house we had, and I was grilling, right? You know, so you're not supposed to grill up on a patio already, right? And I got a huge grill. I got a big dog, right?
Yeah.
But this time, what I did this time was, I got the half and half. So half the grill charcoal, half the grill gas. And then that way, you know, if you make a one thing quick,
yeah.
boom, and I have to fire up the whole thing. So now I got folks over, I might jerk some chicken. I might jerk chicken always proper. So I'm gonna say, yo, 3 chicken up on the thing, you know. Now, when I'm going and come back, because there was a manufacturer's fault with the thing, so they actually gave me a new one, a different one. The grill, the bottom is supposed to be cut down so that there's no grease there at all at any time. So what that means is if this is the bottom of the grill, when they cut the square in it, it's cut down so that things drain out. They ended up having it cut up. So because it's cut up, no matter what, at all times, the grease can be in there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I have 3 big birds on the joint, right? So enough thing I go on, I go in and I'm going to come back out in my land. The whole grill there on fire in my land.
On the patio.
On the patio, where it wasn't supposed to be, right? But it was a hot summer day and I wasn't trying to be outside, right?
Some up on top of it, brother.
Some up on top of it. So, of course, I had to, but I freak out now. Well, my daughter freak out. I have to just open the thing, just lift up the grill, boom, wheel it because it had the wheels, put it outside. And all them are freak out about what happened to the house. You know what was my major concern, my lord? Me chicken them a bun up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, leave it alone because, you know, there's grease fire. And if you throw water upon it, fire will spread.
Yeah.
So I'm like, y'all leave it alone. Except I need you to go get me the longest fork you have in the house, which is the longest grilling fork, because our brother trying to rescue and chicken them. So all the thing out there, burn out. Come on, say never go burn out. So I still try to get me chicken them.
So the oil just have a burn off.
It have to burn off. But what happened is this. By now, the grill had caught fire.
Yeah.
Because even though the grill is metal, the black thing, when you see on the grill, are paint, you know?
Yeah.
It's no different from the paint on your car. All right? And you know, so once paint catches fire, it's over. So I just had to make it burn. I had it in a safe spot, so it just burn out.
Yeah.
But it's just that when I think about it, it's just like, yo, I can't believe, because I done season up them 3 chicken and over the days, the thing that marinate. I'm going to want to tear up the thing them look more.
Yeah.
And this flame I come try destroy my situation. You know what I mean? Market the house could have burned them, but that's insured. These chickens are not. You know what I'm saying? So Florida Peninsula, they don't cover my chicken, but they cover the house. So it's not. Talk about priorities being off. But it's all gravy. It's all gravy. Oh, ZZ said to brief them bun up. She knows what time it is. Sean Garrity.
Yeah, man.
I have conversation with these ladies a lot of time up in here, man, and the single life comes up.
Yeah.
Right? But I'll tell you this, and you can tell me, the opinions I get from the ladies parallel those that I get from the men, right?
Yeah.
In other words, the women who make it sound like, say, boy, there's a bunch of great women out here in abundance, just rolling around, and there's a bunch of crazy lunatic guys out here. The guys them just not cut it, but the women are, right?
Yeah.
That's what they say, and they you know what I'm saying? So I figured, you know what? Let's reason about it. Remember, I have a couple of questions that everybody gets asked.
Yeah, man.
Are you single?
Yeah.
You're a single guy. Are you dating?
No.
No? Johnny, you sound like the last person who's in here.
Oh, like Natasha?
Yeah, Natasha was the same situation. She said she wasn't dating. So you're single, but you're not dating.
My breakup fresh now, so
Okay.
I don't know where you try to get back with nobody right about now.
I mean, nobody. All right, yes, sir. That's a camera answer. I'll ask you again after this, dog.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, I ask you when the cameras ain't on, you know.
I want to the video, man.
Nah, I'm just tripping. Say, you're fresh in these streets.
Fresh.
But you've experienced a single life.
Yeah, man. Enough times.
Enough time.
Yeah.
Right? The other question I ask a lot of women, I'm going to ask to you, how challenging is it navigating single life as a man? The women make it sound like it's crazy for them, but it must be all good for the fellas. How is it for a dude navigating this single life out here?
It depends on what you really want. But for me right now, I don't really see it as a difficulty, as a challenge. Because I'm not really try to find nothing.
Right.
You know, I'm fresh in these streets for the single life. So I'm not really have no vibes and I try link up with nobody like that right about now.
Right. So you're not on the prowl, for lack of a better word.
But I'm on the prowl right now because right now some little things I'm gonna learn from the previous relationship. Show me say there's some things I need to work on. So I'm gonna just take the L and do what I need to do. You know, so that's where that's at.
So you are literally a work in progress.
Yeah, we all are.
We all are. But for purposes, and the reason why I say that and I say it that way is people don't ever see, for the most part, people don't say that tonight. They can see the work in other people and all the work other people need to do because it's never our fault. You know what I'm saying? I know you caught me with old girl, but it's still not my fault.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me. You know what I'm saying?
Biggest tune.
So I love the fact that you said, for lack of a better word, you're working on you.
Yeah.
It don't mean if Keisha come through, you know what I mean? We can't watch the game together.
Do me a favor. Try to find a different name. Yeah?
All the Keishas off.
Yo, any girl will have a what you call it, a vowel on the end.
You're not with it.
No, it's like my virgin from college tell me that, you know. I never vibes with him. He's like name Andre. I'm gonna tell you, Andre have most of the stinkiest foot in the whole world. But Andre have the hottest girl on campus, not just physically, but in just personality. And Andre woman that me I love to know said she and him married now. See?
Right.
But after college, I don't know what them do, where them go. So two things Andre tell me. Don't date a girl with a vowel for the last name and never trust a girl with purple hair. And so said, so done with up on the track team. See? And a girl come on the team and she have purple hair. I'll be a drama.
Leave it alone.
I'll just leave it at that.
Leave it alone.
Brother, I'll be a drama, you know. It's like every time a drama happen,
it's
she not the red.
Jano. You know, it's funny. It's funny when we talk about that same concept of you're in every time something going on, you're involved in it, right?
Yeah.
It's like these folks that have these relationships that can never work.
Yeah.
And they're the common denominator in the 75 failed relationships, right?
Yeah. I am a common denominator.
In these failed relationships.
Yeah.
Right? But here's the thing, because I reference, I don't look stuff up. I reference them from my personal situations.
Yeah.
I'm abridging them, right? I have a brethren who's been in the 75 failed relationships. But every one of those ladies, after they got out the relationship with him, they went on to find their husbands, right? And marry their husbands.
Yeah.
So obviously, I mean, the common denominator is him. You're saying that you've had the failed relationships and the common denominator is you. What do you think makes these relationships fail?
I think the expectation just don't align.
Yours and theirs.
Mine and theirs, yeah. And it just becomes a constant battle that neither of us are willing to go through that minefield. You know, so we just call it quits. You know, I just say, come man, we're all the same, you know.
Right.
We're all the same. You know, we all want the same things, but at the same time, we all have a different way to get there. And depends on how you want to get there, me want to get there. If the two parts don't
line up.
No line up. You know, like when I drive up the I-95 on the turnpike right over there, so.
Would you pay to be on this one?
Yeah, you know, it's like
right.
It's like one of those things. You have to get on the same page, you know, the same book, on the same highway, and the same lane. You know? And sometimes we just don't meet there. And you know, me as a young man, there are certain other things that I would consider to be underlying social factors, and you know, certainly the things that would make it more difficult for me to hold on or create the space that a girl is looking for. You know, for example, you know, them always want man to protect, provide, and all them something there. The protection part, you know, you can do that with your bare hands if you're that bad. Right?
Yes, if you're gangster enough.
If you're gangster enough. But the provision part,
right.
You know, when you transplant yourself from one country to the next, there's a whole heap of culture, there's a whole heap of learning. And sometimes, especially if you don't have that financial footing, just to get the basics covered, your whole life going to look like a sham.
Right.
You know, because sometimes you might have 10 degree and it's not girl, but on your work over here, you have them kind of degree.
Right.
But then I understand, see, you have to lie on certain paperwork for even get to work. You see me?
Right. True.
And
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
And because you know reach a certain level of hustle,
Right.
them now really sit at and appreciate where you are, and nobody now try to build with you. Right? Them want ready-made. See, I think women want more ready-made men than men want ready-made women.
Now, do you find that this is a thing with women in general, or more so women of a certain ethnicity? And I say that because a lot of times come from Caribbean backgrounds. Sometimes we're acclimated to Caribbean women. I won't just say Jamaican women, but you go for people who share certain similar backgrounds, right? And they also have a cultural imbalance now when it comes to dating American women and stuff like that. But do you find there's a difference in terms of the ethnicity of the women, or just women in general?
Well, you see, I really haven't explored too many other ethnicities, and that's the preference. I like chocolate.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And when I say ethnicities, no, I still black women, but I
Yeah.
mean in terms of American versus
that.
or should I say nationality, not ethnicity, nationality.
Even nationality, I found that where I was transplanted to, there was an issue. Now, one thing I realized in that, if you come from yard and you drop a Miami or New York, you're just another Jamaican on the streets.
Right.
But you see, you drop certain other place where your accent different,
Yeah.
where you walk different, and your mannerism different. I think as a guy, you'll get luckier to find the lady who will help you to grow.
So you're saying our brother should have gone to Montana? I should have went to Montana when I
I
came.
should have went to Oregon, dog.
Damn. Would have been the man.
I should have went to Oregon. I mean, and the reason I bring up Oregon because that was actually one of the schools that I was looking at. But then the school in Miami had all the bells and whistles, so I went to that school.
Right.
But when I look at the relationship success rate of some of my friends who went to places like Wyoming, Wisconsin, Arizona, those guys have been married 20, 30 years.
So like they married white women too.
Yeah.
So carry the one.
To the mats.
To the match. I'm like, wow. John Star. So again, it's just relationship dynamics. It's funny.
Yeah.
There are differences when it comes to racial dynamics. Yeah, the white couple and the black couple operates differently.
Yeah.
The mixed couple operate differently and stuff like that. But all in all, there are certain little things that it requires to make marriages work. And I'm saying marriages, but relationships as a whole.
Yeah.
That are somewhat universal. You know what I mean? You mentioned, going through the relationships and a lot of stuff was on your end. Do you find that the relationships, the struggles was the same in terms of whatever issue made the relationship number one not work? Was it the same thing that made relationship number 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 not work?
No, because during that time, it's different ages and different periods in my life. So each time it was a slightly different phenomenon. So you learn, you fix one, but then you create another one. You learn from that one, you try not to repeat that one. Sometimes it's just in choosing where, the type of upbringing the person has. So the girl might be nice and everything, but the upbringing that she has doesn't allow her and you to have a relationship that grows. Because one thing I started realizing when I came to Miami was how many people came from single family homes. When I came from Jamaica, everybody upon my avenue have a mother and father.
Same here.
See?
Same here.
Or if it's not them quote unquote father,
Stepfather.
it's a stepfather. Like
But it's a double parent household.
it's a double hole, yeah. Because me, I'm an adopted kid coming from Jamaica, and I said the word adopted because it's legal, in that regard. Because my mother, with my father, the man whose name I have now, he's been my father since I was before 1. Right. But then you come to America, no man now try to pick up no woman with picnic. But then, if you look at the dynamic of when they were a couple, it was a little different where, look, me have at work, I leave my father house early, we can rent the liquor house here, we have a youth, we have a next youth that come on the way, and we got a bill, my money will come in, I give it to you, you take care of the house, me go work some more, you take care of the yard work, you take care of the house work, and so on. And it work, right?
That's the dynamics.
Yeah.
Or should I say, that would be the perfect dynamics if dynamics could really work.
If dynamics could really work. And you know, my mother don't have no she did drop out of high school because she was 16 when she had me. Right? But here the joke now. My biological father, him was almost 30.
Right.
He was financially well off. But him never have no baby. Him never want have no youth.
Right.
But yet still, you have a young girl who still match out the thing and say, yo, if him no want to do it, you know, and this man here, I work with me.
Yeah.
I work back with him.
Right.
Leg of that, I work back with them man here. Zane, because I take up me and my youth.
Right.
Zane, them get married, have them own youth. But they never treat me like an outside youth.
Right.
And they never talk bad about
Them being him because you were not an outside for her.
Right.
Right.
Because you know, some people turn against them pitney
They do.
when man and woman come in.
Happens.
Right? So my biological father, no, he do what he do. He have 3 other youth now with one woman. Right? And I met none of them till I was like 41. Zane?
Well, damn.
But the point is, the relationship with my mother and my father, when I say my father, I thought my stepfather, how I saw them make it work, they didn't talk bad about my biological father either, nor his side of the family.
Right.
They just kept me and my brother together and Bill. You see me? Now we have house, Zane, we have 2 house, and them thing there. My brother have him work. My father can work from home, and due to medical issues now, me have to take care of my mother here. Right? But the point is, how me see the 2 of them operate, man, I say, yo.
Unity. Teamwork.
Yeah, but when I came here now, there was so much, my father this, my mother that. And then when you hear them on the phone with their parents, or when you see them drop them off at school or pick them up from school, which is college, you see that there is something dysfunctional. And that minefield became a little bit challenging for me to handle. Because me not understand how you and your mother not talk.
And it normal.
So
you're coming from a situation where, truth be told, you weren't from a broken home. You
Right.
were created in a broken home, so to speak.
So to speak.
So you're creating a broken home. So remnants of those will always exist, right? But then you went to a dual family situation and saw that, right?
Yeah.
So you do kind of have an excuse if you wanted to play the role of, hey, I don't know how to make this thing work because that's somewhere I come from, right?
Exactly.
So then you move into a situation here where, unfortunately, for different reasons, because the law very rarely permits a 30 and 16-year-old to make that thing to work, right?
Yeah.
So from a legal standpoint, that's
Call it
less
what
likely
it
to
is.
happen. Less likely
Yeah.
to happen. But circumstances also make a lot of times the family disjointed. There is a lot of, and some of it is not just systematic. Some people go look work and it's different things.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, what you're saying pretty much is you came into a situation where a lot of people were from broken homes. And when you come together and try to form a family, it's almost like they still don't know how to not be a member of a broken home.
Right. That was a big part of it, you know.
Wow.
Because there was always a clash about X, Y, and Z, whatever it was. I can't remember all the specifics, right? But I'm just like, but I thought we were supposed to just talk about this, you know? Because I knock on wood, I've never seen my parents butter eye for each other or raise them voice. But I know they must have problems.
You just weren't there.
I just wasn't there.
Right.
Right, but me see them people are in some relationship and situation with them family where, a straight out war at their time.
You mentioned that because something that I always wonder about is this. When it comes to relationships, and based on what you're saying, it probably is, you meet a young lady.
Yeah.
How important or not important is her relationship with her family in terms of how it factors into your relationship? And I don't mean pretty much the beef with mom or whatever the case may be, but is it important that you get along with her family?
I think it is important that I get along with her family, because you're still trying to have some level of traditionalness, right? So let's say you're not going to be traditional, okay? So who pays for the wedding now? Now her family is supposed to pay for the wedding.
That's how it go?
Yeah, so it's supposed to go,
Yeah, I don't know about that.
right? but nowadays,
Yeah.
the man is expected to buy the ring, buy the house, pay for the wedding. Right? And then when they're going to the house, the man still have to pay everything financial, right? So, I mean, for me, you have to still have that relationship with the family because that's how you get to understand that person's personality.
Right.
And to me, like one of the shows I really like to watch is Family Feud. Can you believe that? Family Feud.
What do you learn from Family Feud?
I see families.
Besides how the level of unintelligence that floats around in the families out here. What else do you learn from Family Feud?
I just see families coming together, man.
Oh, that's what you see.
That's what I see. Even when it's all boys or all girls,
Right.
I still see some level of cohesion. And I think that's what's disjointed now with a lot of families, and it affects our personal relationships with people we date.
You know what I see when I watch Family Feud?
What?
All the arguments that are going to happen after this show. Now, somebody asked here, and I don't think she should probably still need the answer to that question, which is where is it? Define single, but define single for the masses out there, because that word. The reason I'm asking you is this: like, my goal was to talk to a lot of single folks, right?
Right.
Purely single folks for this segment. I had a couple of ladies lined up, a couple of fellas lined up, right? As we got closer, that's when the fellas started requiring a proper explanation for what single was, right? So to you, and for the lovely lady who's asking, what exactly? How do you define being single?
Not married.
Not married. So what if you're in a relationship but you're not married? Are you single?
You're still single.
You're single if you're in a committed relationship but you're not married. You're still single.
You're still single.
So that means you can see other people too.
You're still single.
So can you see other people?
You're single.
So what does it mean? What's the rules on freedom?
You are
I'm single.
single. Let me tell you something. When I DJ weddings,
Big
right?
guy, want me?
Eh?
No, go ahead. Is it?
When I DJ weddings, right, and I call for the single ladies, me and my brother Mickey Valentine, we specifically define what it means. All my single ladies on the dance floor. If you don't have a ring on the finger,
Then you're single.
you're single. If your wedding is tomorrow afternoon, you're single.
Okay. So let me ask you this, because it makes perfect sense. And to be honest with you, now that we got that clarification, ladies, that's how the thing go. But let me ask you this now. So you've got a girlfriend, but you're not married. Are you single?
If you got a girlfriend, but
She's
you're
your girlfriend. You've been
Yeah.
together for 3 years. You live together. You know what I mean? But she don't have a ring on her finger. So she's single. You're single, right?
Yeah.
Are you okay with her having sleeping with somebody else out there?
Look, you're single.
No. But are you okay with it?
You're single.
So she can do her thing and come back home?
You are single.
John, oh my lad, you're a keeper in these streets. Them girl are right now.
You're single.
So until the ring goes on the finger, there is no commitment. You do not have to be monogamous. You do not have to maintain a sexual, how you call it? Wait, that's about that now. You don't have to really remain in a relationship just between the two of you. It can be out there if you're not married, even the day before the wedding, because technically you're not married yet.
Right, you're not married. Now, the word monogamy is a highly misused word. From a biblical standpoint, none of us here in this current dating world is monogamous, because monogamy is simply one partner your entire life.
No.
Yes, biblically, that's what it is.
Not what I got, but I'm going to hear you. I've been in the church. I've been reading the Bible. All of that
So the fact that you have one girl and you sleep with that and you sleep with the next girl, that whole monogamy out the door. You're polygamous. But we've changed it now to say that means you have multiple partners.
Right.
At the same time. Okay? So for me, that's what it is. You're single until you are married, because when you're single and let's say the man got dead or the woman got dead, you have nothing to claim.
Depending on where you are, common law things can take place.
Right? But you have to make sure you put that in place, right?
Yeah.
But if you're married, it's already implied.
Right. But then we also can conflate sometimes what are rituals and what are laws, right? A lot of the things that we do is just like sins and crimes aren't the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Sins and crimes are not the same thing, right? So the stuff that you go to hell for, you might not go to jail for. You know what I'm saying? And which sentence is greater? I'm just saying. But let's back it up a little bit. All right, because I like talking about the whole dynamics of relationships and like you said, the teamwork and stuff like that, right? When my parents got married, I was months old. Right? So I don't even remember if I was there or not there. I don't know the dynamics of what. That and so I don't know who paid for what.
Yeah.
But I grew up with my mother working and my father working. And my mother did well. So, just to make sure that I don't discredit people from single family homes, I would never say if I didn't have my dad, I would be all right. I mean, I would be in the same. I would live the same quality of life. I
Yeah.
would be all right. I know I would be just based on my mom.
Yeah.
And how well she did for herself. But it's a difference having two people there. So I saw a lot of what I deemed teamwork. Right. I was never ever and will never ever be attracted to a woman who does not work. Right. It don't matter how much money I make. That being said, when it was time to get married, everything was it was an us thing. I didn't even really think of the fact that, okay, somebody paying for this or whatever. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying maybe my mom might not have said, okay, I'll pay the videographer, or my mother-in-law might say, I'll pay the photographer. You know what I mean? But that wedding and that cost, rings, just when it overall sum up the total cost of that thing there, it was our responsibility.
Right.
So what I'm trying to understand, you're saying, right, that because maybe I need to get my money back. You're saying that responsibility should have been shouldered by the bride's parents?
No, well, clearly you guys have a different dynamic because there's nothing right now. The one thing I learned from doing LGBT weddings is that nothing is normal anymore.
Right.
You see me? I remember the first one I did, we were on a boat,
Right.
right? Literally on a boat. These two guys, they were on a boat. And their grand entrance song was We're on a Boat by T-Pain. That song, if you know that song, is super duper hype, right? It's not your average song, right? And then when you look at the dynamic of the bridal party, you know, because usually they have girls on one side, boys on the other side. In theirs, it was just a mixture. And when we introduced the quote-unquote bridal party or the wedding party, because it wasn't called a bridal party, it was called a wedding party.
Right.
When we introduced the wedding party, they did not come in like hand in hand, walking slow down the aisle.
Right.
Everybody was bunched up, like you're about to start like a marathon.
Right.
Right. And we just said, here is the wedding party. And they just all chased down that section of the boat. Right. And as they're running, the MC is calling out this one, that one, that one, that one. And they just got into position.
Wow.
So what that tells us is that a lot of things have changed.
Right.
And I appreciate that because even in finances, even in technology, you have to be agile and you have to take that agility in your personal relationships as well. So some of the things that I've seen my parents do, I know I won't have that.
Right.
But I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to. I'm malleable to some of those nuances now. But I just get the feeling that sometimes the other party still wants that old school with just their new school over here.
So in other words, they controlling the goalposts. We're moving it where
Yes.
we're okay.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Now, how important is compromise? Because when you, I say this, the reason why for me getting married, people say to me, say, boy, well, getting married and the concept of married and marriage is work, and marriage is this, and marriage is that. No, it's not. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it doesn't take effort on whatever the case may be, but it's not supposed to be a chore, right?
Yeah.
Because the chore and the task and the work was making sure you're marrying the right person. So what I see happen a lot of times is people will be knee deep in a relationship, years in, whether they're married or not, right? Married for a couple of years or together for a couple of years, and there are some problems going on right now that's hindering the progress and the growth of that relationship, right? But when asked, were those problems there from the inception? 90% of the time, when they're being honest, they said yes. My question is, then where you going there for? Right? If the issue that's keeping you from progressing right now existed upon inception, why did you embark upon that relationship? You know what I'm saying? Have you ever found yourself in a situation where we got some battles, some hurdles right about now, but I saw these hurdles from the get-go and probably I should have not going there? Or what was the reason why you progressed in that relationship?
You know, you see the hurdles, and I think that's why I've had so many relationships, because when I see the years coming down, it's time to get out the way. Right? I will make that adjustment. And sometimes they will think I don't want to make that adjustment. But if I talk to you about it, please don't push that boulder off the hill. Right? And you're like, well, I'm going to do what I do because I'm going to... And then you push it. Right? Because
What them do?
you know, I can't go into character. I'm sorry. I'm not Tyler Perry. I can't go into character like that.
Wow.
You know? And they push the boulder down the hill, and they think you're not gonna move out the way.
Right.
And when you move out the way, they're like, "He's gone." Yeah, I'm gone. You know, because when you see it, like a good friend of mine, Anna, she says, you have to stop them at the driveway.
Right.
Don't let them up the driveway. Don't
Right.
let them knock on the door. You know, Teddy Pendergrass. Is Teddy Pendergrass a Billy Paul? Somebody's knocking at the door.
Somebody ringing my bell. Yep.
Don't let them in.
Don't let them in. Now, our relationship's difficult.
They do have anything of value is going to take work. Anything of value. Because I remember, you know, in my younger days when I was a little bit more sexually active, if a girl just gave it to you, you done cashing a year, it's a boy, that's not gonna wait. I can't take that serious.
Right.
Right? But if it's a girl where you check for you for work feet a little bit, you value that one a little bit more. And if Usain Bolt never got practice, you think he's gonna win the race? And if he win the race and never have a practice, you think he's gonna feel good?
Right.
You're not gonna feel good. That's why when people win, a lot of them blow it.
Right.
Because them can't appreciate it. They don't hold on to it. It doesn't have any value to them. So anything that is valuable, right? Whether it's relationship, whether it's your job, whether it's how you value your children, if you value them, you're gonna work hard to make sure that it grows.
Practice.
Yeah.
So maybe her being promiscuous and throwing it away easily is practice. Maybe you should look at it that way. Maybe she was practicing.
Yeah, but I'm not the end goal if they're practice. If you're just practicing, I'm not
Right.
the end goal.
But when she gets good, I mean, you benefit from the practice, don't you? No,
it's not the same.
Just checking.
It's not the same.
Just checking.
You know, women want men who are, you know, set certain ways, you know, but men are not looking for that with too much mileage, you know.
So in other words, I mean, understand the concept right so now. Men are looking for low mileage.
Low mileage, yeah.
Women are looking for high experience, but possibly, so women don't care about the mileage, is what you're saying.
It's a little less important.
But it's more important to the men.
Yeah,
Less mileage.
yeah.
Okay. I
But
feel you.
But the problem now is, though, G. Cole, is that a recent Washington Post study revealed that of men 18 to 29, 28% are virgins.
Right.
What percentage do you think of the women said they were virgins at the same age range?
A lot less.
Yeah, 18%.
Yeah, which means it's really, I lied to myself. Anyways, because you know how that goes already.
No, listen, man, you can't lie to Washington Post like that because a big subset of people. But you know, there was a comedian.
People
years
lie
ago.
to God.
There's a comedian years ago where the guy would ask the girls, you know, how many boyfriends have you had, or how many sexual partners have you had? And she's like, 3. And you know, the rule is you got to multiply it by 5 or 3 or something like that.
Right.
Because the comedian said, we're not talking about your boyfriends. We're talking about the miscellaneous ones along the way.
I'll give you that. Women do tend to only count the ones that it was a relationship. Right.
Yeah.
They don't, and if they and the ones that spent the night sometimes. But you know, anything else don't get counted. No. Again, relationships. I hear the ladies are a little bit more, you know, them talk about them situations a lot more and what they see out there and rah. From your experience being single,
Yeah.
right? Because like you said, you meet the girls who are going to throw it, you know what I mean? You can also, I think you can discern sometimes character and quality of character, maybe not instantaneously, but afterwards. Women tend to say that there's not a high percentage of what they deem quality. When I say quality, I'm not talking about just finances. I'm talking about the whole package, have their stuff together out there with a sprinkling of morality and ethics in there. Is it the same way on the opposite end? Do you find that a lot of the women that are out there, single women right now, aren't necessarily what you would deem wife material?
Let me tell you, I honestly believe that there are more wife material. There's more husband material out there
Than not.
It's just that I think it's like the mastermind shift. It's like the okey doke between the shark and the whale. No, the shark and the dolphin. Everybody's afraid of sharks. Oh my God, sharks.
Right.
But when you check the stats, how much more people dolphin kill than shark?
That is true.
Maybe because you don't have too many pet sharks and too many sharks at the zoo. But I'm just saying.
That is true.
You know, dolphins, let's take a swan, for example. Everybody has the swan as this perfectly beautiful animal, but a swan is vicious.
Yeah.
Swans are vicious, right?
Yep.
So for me, when it comes to the relationships, you know, those that are vicious or painted in a certain way get way more airtime.
Right.
So you find instead of really good guys out there, they're trying to, set themselves up or be there for you. You bypass them because of certain societal ideas that, oh, he's too this, he's too that, he doesn't drive a nice car, he's too easy, he's so simple, he gives me everything I want.
Right.
And I even heard some lady come on divorce court one day telling Judge Maybelline that, yo, the man gives me everything I want.
Right.
And the judge is like,
So what else do you want?
what's your problem?
Right.
Why are you creating an issue? So I think there's more good women, but you just have to know where to find them. You're definitely not going to find them in the club.
What? You ain't find them in church either, but that's a different conversation.
You're
What's a good guy?
Let me tell you, a good guy, a gentleman, one who's, first of all, he's self-sustaining, he's intelligent, is articulate, able to display empathy in situations. And you also have to have that edge to let a young lady know and say, look, I'm not going to boss you around, but you have to realize that how I'm operating, I lead with conviction and I lead with purpose. If you're trying to lead without purpose, you're not going to be successful right there.
Right.
Because she's going to be like, where are we going? What are we doing? Right. And sometimes, you have to, as a man, you just kind of really have to take charge of the situation in the relationship, because women are attracted to those qualities in men, and if you can do that well, they will want you. Right. And I'm not talking about who's going to abuse you and all this stuff. Let's not talk about that 2% of the population, right? We're talking about the average guy that gets up, goes to work, make sure all the things are covered, his bills are paid. And the simplicity of paying your bills, some people gloss over that, because paying your bills means you're responsible.
Right.
It's like when a man goes into the NFL don't care that you have 150 credits from college. The reason why they want to make sure you go to college is that you have the discipline to study what we're going to give you.
Right.
It has nothing to do with what your grades were, right? And if your grades are a certain level, it means that you'll rise yourself to a certain level to complete the task. Because when they give you this big old thick playbook,
right,
and you got 20 games in the season, including your off season, and if you go to the playoffs,
right,
can I trust you to study that?
And I think it goes for the regular world too, because even being out there in the hiring world, that's really what the degrees are about.
Yeah.
You had the discipline and the fortitude to go through them 4 years, right?
Yeah.
It's not about that's why most people don't work in the field where the degree is in, because it doesn't really matter. What constitutes, and I think somebody asked the question here too for me, what define what wife material is. I was the one that I will take responsibility for the term. I was the one that said wife material. But I just asked you what's a good guy. But what's wife material, or what's a good girl?
All right. So for me, a young lady who is attractive and not necessarily physical, but she knows how to carry herself, puts herself together well, physically, again, emotionally, and shows those nurturing types.
Right.
She knows how to express herself without being too loud. And the same thing I look for in men. I look for that quality in men as well. If my daughter came when this dude was talking too loud, no, I don't want that dude to be a part of our family.
Right.
Right. And the same kind of things I look for, but it's from a feminine standpoint, because there's certain things that women do differently than men do. It's like they're going to love the child in a different way than we're going to love the child. Right. We're going to take little Johnny and throw him into the ceiling and see if he'll catch. She's going to be like this. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Doesn't make it wrong or right. It's just different. So for a lady, and she also has to understand that even in this day and age, right? Let's use this day and age in an urban setting like we are. The financial roles have changed, and she has to be able to accept that as well, right? And don't expect the guy to be taking care of everything. And if you do have the situation where the guy is taking care of everything, there are other things in the household that must be taken care of, because it's a big old corporation, right? And
Facts.
a part of the corporation is the household, right? We cannot neglect what we'd want you to do in the house to go do something else and then blame me why you are not doing it, right? Because when the yard needs to be cut, I'm not looking at you to cut it, right? When the light bulb is 15 feet in our vaulted roofs needs to be changed,
I ain't expecting you to
I'm not looking at you to change it,
right?
And I'm going to make the time. I'm going to put myself on a schedule. Like in my house, I have a schedule for things that have to be done over and over, like to change the filter in the fridge, change the filter in the AC, washing the windows and stuff like that. I have those things like on a cycle, right? I put it in my Google Calendar, right? So even though it's not something I do every day, it's something that I've scheduled out.
Right.
And in the meantime, I provide the money for the household.
Right.
I provide and make sure that the lights are on, the AC is cool, and all that stuff. And for the lady, it's not too much to ask if I am going to be the first one to go outside and take a bullet. Make me a sandwich, please. It's not that difficult.
Sandwiches.
It's not that difficult. I like porridge and fried dumpling and bully beef. Hook me up once a month. But what happens is, the women don't want to do those things because it's slavery. Oh, I'm a career girl. I'm this, I'm that.
Right.
They don't want to cook at all, right?
Right.
They don't want to clean at all.
Right.
But they expect you to go to work, pay somebody to clean.
Right.
You to go to work
That happens though.
and you take them to dinner, right?
That's happening.
So they're working, but you still have to feed them, make sure their house is clean, make sure their kids are clean. Oh, they're your pocket. And what's her money for?
So the theory of her money is her money and your money is your money is real out here.
It's real. And I think that's where we get it skewed because we don't have enough financial discussions when we're going into relationships. So you come with your views, I may have my idea, but somewhere along the line, it just don't match. It's like too much dissonance.
Right.
So,
We do live in a world where the relationship dynamics, and I'm going to go into some comments from the people here. Some things are traditionalisms, right? And some things are actual practical stuff. A lot of things are really just traditions, right? Now, the dynamics of the family, the man, the masculine role, the woman, the feminine role, right? That's tradition, and I think it's a tradition that some are trying to change while controlling the goalpost, right? So it's a situation where certain things need to change, but certain things need to be the same. But you mentioned now the little things like the cooking and the expectations, right? And it dials back down to the finances. And the reason why I'm sliding over to the side of finances is this. When I was in college, we did a sociology thesis, and it was on the demise of relationships, marriages, right? And what was proven was that most failed relationships, when you ask people why do they think relationships fail, the first thing come to mind is infidelity, right? But just like in the safety field, where people would think that the most dangerous thing and more people die in the trades from electrocution and stuff like that, it's really not that. They die from falls. Relationships normally don't crumble because of infidelity. Less times it's normally because of money. Yeah. And when I say money, it doesn't mean that somebody with more money come take away your girl. What it means pretty much is that there's a money issue, so there's friction in the relationship. Being if the income coming into the household is not enough, struggling to pay bills, or even if it's enough, but there's mismanagement and misappropriation of funds. Again, use the word corporation. A household is a corporation, right? Those things lead to more dissolution of marriages than what we would think in terms of infidelity. I will say this. When I speak to men about relationships, what they're looking for and stuff like that, and finances don't come up that quickly.
No.
Right? When I talk to, and I'm giving credit where credit is due, right?
Yeah.
When I do talk to women about relationships, no matter who the woman is, my friend, my sister, my this, that, whatever the case may be, well off, not well off, the finances come up pretty early. And a lot of times I get the impression that the finances would have come up earlier if not for the fact that they were aware that it wouldn't be a good look.
Okay.
To mention it earlier, right? So that's my experience. Now, I'm a married guy. I'm not out here in the single field. I'm talking about when I'm just having conversation with my homegirls and my homeboys. When you are out here dating, how much does that financial situation and I'm talking about dating now, married in a committed relationship. How much does that financial situation come up? And then secondly, how early does it come up?
It seemed like it's off the bat. Because here you are, I meet you, right? A young lady, of course. And I say, let's go to the movies. Or let's go get dinner. Or let's go to the mall. Let's go to the park. how does the lady show up?
How? How does the guy show up? Yes, that's normally.
That's normal. And plus, you gotta pick her up, right?
Wow.
That's what kind of like New York.
Maybe it's just chivalry, though. You know.
That's why I like New York. You be like, yo, I'm gonna take the D train. I'm gonna be in the front car. Look for me at DeKalb Avenue.
South Florida relations should be requested too much.
Too much. You know, and I think that's where sometimes it goes wrong. Because now you have this expectation. Because I remember one time Reggie used to tell me, say, yo, the first time I carry a girl up on a first date, don't carry her X, Y, Z, because the next time she'll go on more. So you have to start small. You see me? Wow. Because if you start too big, you know, it's go.
There's always growth.
There's always growth.
Right.
So, and I appreciated that advice because...
Was that true, though? Did you find that to be true?
Yeah, it's very true. Because the lady's always looking for what more is there.
Wow. I have, let me touch a couple of comments here. And some of this is from stuff we were talking about previously. ZZ says, I disagree totally with that. If you're in a committed relationship, you should not be having outside relations. The ring and the ceremony is symbolic of the vows. So you know what she's talking about on that one. When you're saying pretty much if you're single, you're single.
Hey.
Right?
Yeah.
Cheryl says, men should realize that when they sleep with multiple women, it affects their bodies after a certain age. When you're young and in your prime, just practice. Like your brother says, just practice. ZZ says, I see a double standard here. It's okay to sleep with others if you're not married to the person, but at the same time, the women are deemed unacceptable if you do likewise. ZZ, that is in fact a double standard.
It's not.
It is a double standard.
You remember that song?
What's that?
Girls, you can't do what the guys do. And there's a woman who sang that song to you.
No, here's the thing. On paper, in theory, is it a double standard? Absolutely. But there's a lot of things in life that are double standards. Here's the thing. And I'm saying it's a double standard because, yes, that what she's saying is factual.
Yeah.
But we could also consider the fact that if a bullet is being shot, you expect to go out there, go take the bullet. That could be considered a double standard too, right? So I'm going to give you that one.
Let me tell you something, Bridget.
Hey, Lyndon, what's up? California in the building. Go ahead.
So, people, understand this. Men and women are simply not the same. Let me tell you something, G Cole. If we have a men's trip to the Bahamas and we're spending 2 nights, there are 4 of us. How many rooms are being rented?
Could be 2.
If 4 women go on a girls' trip to the Bahamas for 2 nights, how many rooms are being rented?
I don't know. Tell me.
1.
What?
We're different. And it goes in everything. We are different. Stop trying to make it like we're equal. We are equal, but we're different we're equal but in different ways.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say. We're equal but in different ways. We're just not the same. We're not built the same to accept certain things or do certain things. For example, if a woman was making more money, let's say a woman made 200 grand and dude makes 75 grand, right? Do you think that woman would still be comfortable paying every bill in their house for 3, 4, 5 years?
No. I'm gonna ask something that
The answer is no.
Well, hold on, because somebody mentioned this, and I gotta ask it based on that, right? Like the question you just asked just now.
Yeah.
Can we use the term woman in terms of that's not an every woman thing?
There's nothing, everything are ubiquitous, but we're talking in general, right? A woman is not expected to, right? To carry that financial load long term, right? Maybe when you fell off of a job for 2-3 months because of COVID or whatever, right?
But just in general. Not expected to carry the household.
She's not. She is not expected to carry the household financially, right? Because even if you, for example, tell me, Pastor.
Jamaica Star?
Yeah.
Dear Pastor, used to be? Yep.
One girl there with a man, 3 years. And the man keep telling her, I say, yeah, man, we'll soon get married. And as she pay all the bill in the house. So you know what she do? She married herself.
What do you mean married herself?
Yeah, so the thing title. She could engage herself. So may I say, and then of course the comments are, no self-respecting woman is gonna be paying the bills long term like that.
That's what the comments are saying.
Yeah.
I'll say this based on what you're saying there. And this part is in fact true. You talk about the dynamics there, right? And certain things are tradition, certain things are expectation. Majority of it all is taught. right? Because we do teach, including we do teach what our women are supposed to do. I have a daughter. I don't have a son. I'm going to be honest with you. In that regard, she may have that. She may have that vibe too. And the reason why she may have that vibe is because that was taught by me. We do teach that as a culture, society. So sometimes we talk about it and people are like, no, it's not true. It is true because I look for my daughter and I said, why is it that you are carrying? You know what I mean? No, don't get me wrong. If she makes a lot more money than him, then it just is what it is. If she's a happy relationship and he takes care of the household and him treat her properly and whatever the case may be, then it's all gravy. But I am not going to lie to you and say that I would not have I'm not going to look at it sideways until I see the dynamics of the relationship and say, okay, you know what? Is what it is. Because they can't all be in that situation, right?
Right.
Because here's the deal. If I am to look at it and be like, she's supposed to have a leg up and feel a certain way because she makes more money than him, then what if the dynamic switch tomorrow and he makes 400 tomorrow? He's supposed to start treating her differently? No. You know what I'm saying? But Coach just says, some states, if the relationship has lasted at least 3 years, general rule is that the relationship property is divided equally between couples. That is so true. That's the reason I need to break up every 5.5 months, Kojo. So if you're not married, you need to break up every 5.5 months. Noel said, I often heard if she goes to church more than once per week, she's quite likely seeing somebody there. Damn, you don't went to...
My youth that reached married in a college.
What?
That reached me in a college. Yeah.
What happened to you in college?
Yo, all me know is when me and the girl go to church, we reach home after church done.
Yeah.
When she go by herself, she not reach home till 7, 8 o'clock at night. And they have what's some kind of practice Wednesday or Thursday, but all of a sudden she have this big interest in her. So if me no go, she stay late. I know she have this other thing, so I chew that.
So damn, you know, lost your chick to somebody in the church.
Yeah, man.
Damn. She Noah says, yeah, if she goes to church more than once per week, she's quite likely seeing somebody there. A good woman is just one with character and good attitude. That can be plus more than a minus. Bigger plus is if she doesn't stress you out.
True that.
That's so important, you know.
A piece of
That's so important. Because here's the thing. Money not have nothing to do with that. A woman and they exist. You know what I mean? There's songs about them, there's theories about them. There's some women that women stress you out, right? Just as men will stress you out. But the woman that'll stress you out is gonna stress you out whether there's money, whether there's no money. Whether the house big or the house small. Whether she got a new car, she doesn't have a new car. If that's her personality, somehow, some way, you getting stressed out. So the issue is, like we said earlier, why you marry the woman if you didn't know, or the man if you knew that these things existed? Donna said, not all women are like that. I think I know what she was talking about there. Mish says here, Burger King first, then Ruth Chris. That is true.
There
Mish.
you go.
Yeah. But here's the thing.
No, you have to go to TGIF before you get to Ruth Chris.
But the thing is, she said Burger King first, then Ruth Chris. If the man pick her up on this side, saying Burger King, I'm gonna go, because that's the first time, right?
Yeah.
Are you gonna be cool with that, Mish? Or are you gonna be like, oh, just food, take him to Burger King? You know what I mean? You're saying that right now because you're in the chat room. Oh boy, can't take you to the Burger King. You know what I mean? So that's to look how many women out there taking care of the household. We need to throw away the tunnel vision. Times have changed in some regards, Suzette. I agree with you. In some regards, no. If she coming home late from church, you need to step up your game. You weak. Suzette, all right, go deal with Suzette. Here's the thing. It seems to me when it comes to Suzette, still like that. Suzette, my friend. No matter how you slice and dice it,
yeah,
I the man fault when it comes to Suzette. No matter what happens, Suzette, so like I man fault today. Tell me if I'm wrong, because one man just said he heard that if your woman go to church so many times, so she's seen somebody here. This man said it happened to him, and you say if she coming home from church late, you need to step up your game. Suppose a woman said that Jesus business to their church, you can't compete with that. If she's coming home from church late and she tell us, listen, because it's funny, I don't want to get to the church part because I have a brethren right about now whose relationship done because of the church, you know.
Yeah.
His girl decided she went to church one day, and you know some churches can be convincing a damn near cult like, right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I be a long skirt. Appeared, disappeared, or her whole thing changed. Her focus is more the church. And I know at least 3 people right now whose marriages, because they're technically married to the church, So it ain't got nothing to do with the man being weak unless you're talking about physically club her and take her up like a caveman and carry her. That's the only strength you could exhibit to stop a human being from doing something. I will say this though. That theory, right? Women draw that theory a lot. Anytime things go certain way, there are certain things that it's deemed sexist if a man says to a woman.
Yeah.
But, and this is a general statement here. A lot of times I hear women draw the statement, he's because he's weak. No matter what happens, because he's weak. If he was strong enough, if he did this, if he did that, it's never any fault of her own. And I'm not generally speaking about all women. I'm just saying I've heard it come from some of the ladies. Ladies.
That is what, rest in peace, Kevin Samuels called
You
sign language.
You bring up Kevin Samuels.
Of course, because it's irrelevant to this conversation when you just bring up, because like they'll shame you into it, they'll insult you, and they'll guilt you. See? The end means the need to be right.
So shame you, insult you,
guilt you, and they have a need to be right.
So that's a sign.
It's a sign language. Yeah.
Kevin said that.
Yeah.
Boy, sometimes more never somebody kill him, you know.
Even this white dude named Bill Burr, he said something similar.
Oh, he worse.
He said like, yo, you ever in an argument with a woman, and even when she realizes that she's losing, she's gonna throw something in there that makes you call her something so bad, and no, you're the dude, you're the bad person.
Well, don't get into the argument.
Exactly.
You can't listen to them people, you know. Zizi says your rationale is very sexist and your relationship could pose a challenge. Zizi, which just drop a comment in there and say what exactly he was talking about that you say is very I got all me. That's very sexist. You know, the only thing I always I heard Chris Rock say this one time.
Yeah.
And every time I joke with my wife, anytime I see my wife, I look on him and say, oh snap. Chris Rock said, anytime you catch a woman staring at you, she's looking at you and saying, damn, how'd I end up with this for? I could have done so much better, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes I see my wife, I look up at him and say, is that what you're over there thinking, babe? Damn,
No,
you could have done so much better.
But sometimes that's the person you need because they ain't going nowhere.
Oh, my Lord. All right, let me see here. Let's see here. Susan said, you're wrong. Something wrong in the household. No communication. What up, Kay? Kay said, we just want equal access to opportunities and stop with the gender rules.
No,
we want a seat at the table as a woman, not a woman forced to act like a man to be valued. I'm going to say this. There's what she's saying right there, so. Mm-hmm. I hear that with a lot of the ladies, that ladies are asking for a seat at the table, right? And I don't, and I agree. I do think we need to, but there's certain things that can never and should never change.
Right.
Right? And again, then you start thinking what is sexist and what's not sexist. Mm-hmm. Right? Because put it this way. I want my wife to get equal pay for her work for what she does at work. You best believe if you're work or not pay her, may have a problem with that. She needs to go. Right? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I also don't want you to have my wife lifting heavy stuff at work when you're and unfortunately, those little dynamics. I used to work. I used to have a coworker. I had a team. She had a team, and she would always tell me that the guys work a certain way with her, and she thinks it's because she's a woman, right? And then I was over there and I observed, and my observation pretty much was she was 100% right, but it wasn't from the vantage point she was looking from. What it was pretty much was, it's a physical job. Mm-hmm. She's the leader. She knows she's not the one lifting the 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 pounds.
Right.
So she has no problem telling people to do stuff that she's not 100% sure of, because if they put something in a particular place that it's not supposed to be, at them same one, gonna have to move it later. It's not her. You get me? So, and as a result, people take offense to that because she had a leader. They kind of do have to listen to her, but at the same time, you know, so it's not just the plain old they are being sexist. You know what I'm saying? But certain things, I think I understand where Kay is coming from. But certain things, my concern with a lot of that stuff is Pandora's box. I don't want you because personally, I think my household works as a 50-50 scheme. I honestly do.
And some people call that roommates, right?
So. No, I never heard of one then.
But it worked for you and your wife.
Yeah, I personally, I think it's to me, 50-50 vibes.
Put it on the camera real quick. Put it on the camera.
Hold on, going over. Yeah.
People,
Father.
Next guest, make sure you bring the man a juice, yeah? Bring the man a juice. You see me?
What's that? Who that?
Jamaican something. Genuine Jamaican ginger something. Caribbean classic. Imported raisin wine with cane alcohol and natural flavors added.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're at the point where the phone lines are open. So, if you wanna, because it's hard to keep up with the comments as they are written. So, if you wanna call in and make a comment, definitely do so. The phone number is listed there. I'm gonna look because I will not lie and act like I know this number off the top of my head. 954-372-5453. 954-372-5453. I do think we still live in a time where women aren't afforded the seat at the table that they deserve, right? But I don't think that's where a lot of I don't know if that's a dynamic that translates inside of the house. You know what I'm saying? And in a relationship, I think it's a corporate thing. But I do think that when it comes to in the house and stuff like that, certain traditional things need to maintain. Because again, I do stand by the sentiment, and I tell my wife this all the time, no matter what the circumstances, even if I'm making a ton of more money or not, if the lights aren't on in this house, it's my fault.
Okay. And that's cool too.
If the lights aren't on, it's my fault. If the lawn, Mark and me are cutting the lawn, I'm not taking credit for that. I got a lawn guy, right? But the fact is, if he's not cutting it, it's me.
But you're resourceful to have someone
To have somebody do it. No,
and you not ask she for pay feet.
It doesn't matter because you know what? I always find that funny when people say who pay for whatever because it's coming out of the same account.
Okay, come on and see. But the two now push money in the thing.
Yeah.
All right. See,
So I always, that to me is always a little strange when, because every gift that I get, I feel like I bought, and every gift that she gets, technically she bought it because it's you know what I mean?
In the pot.
It's in a pot, But no different from if you walked in my house and it was a hot mess, even though me did it, you probably look by sheets anyway, right? Traditional vibes. So
Brother, let me ask you something real quick before we make that point then. Me use BJ's curbside pickup more time.
What? Shots?
Yeah, man. Pour the liquor, man. Pour the thing in the red cup. In the small red cup. Let me tell you something, G. Me use the curbside pickup more time. I mean, normally buy 4 cases of water and buy water. Tell me why is it that when the woman bring out the female employee bring out the water, them always want me come put the water in. But when the man them bring it,
the man them put it in.
The man just put it in. But the two of them make $17 an hour. What do you make?
You ain't right.
I'm just saying, all the thing at home, brethren.
I don't know, that's what I'm saying. That you have to put
it sound like it feel like it's supposed to open, don't it? And then just slip.
You have to go put a code in. At the seal. Something wrong with the seal. So as I say, I'm not waiting for no one to give me a seat at the table. I'm already seated at the table.
Go on sitting at your table, yo.
Do you think?
Do you think, Susan?
Do the thing. Now,
I need a true alcohol person for come bust the thing. Yeah.
It
probably have a liquor seal on your say now. You probably need a liquor knife or something for bust right there. So
which is
that's how I feel.
Yeah. I don't have the violence. I don't have a knife.
But anyhow, go on talk.
But yeah, we're not going over with it. Let me ask you a question. And I just want to make sure I get to this. ZZ says, not UG. It's a comment he made earlier regarding things the men can do, yet the women should not or not be expected to do it. Amen.
Let me ask you
ruffling some feathers.
How much women are in construction?
Not as many.
Oh.
Just like there are not as many men in healthcare.
Right.
It's just again, the gap is moving. But until Jack come, it'll never be 50-50.
But you see what I tell you, so we're equal, but it's different in a separate ways because we play separate roles.
And we are supposed to. We can't.
It's like
not everything that a man does. Mm-hmm. A woman, her doctor will tell her not to do it. You know what I'm saying? Just big and serious.
Yeah.
Big and serious. At my house.
Yeah.
Certain things, I get mad at my wife for trying to pick up stuff that's too heavy.
Of course.
But that's just my wife.
Yeah.
So don't do that. And don't get me wrong, here's the thing, she would try to do everything. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, nah, it's not me putting any dominance. No. If it's heavy for me, you're not supposed to even touch it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. No, don't get me wrong. I know if something happened to me, I'm confident in knowing that she can hold her own. Yeah. But at the same time, I still know I had to certain things. So as I said, there are a lot more today. Go ahead, and then I go move on to something else.
Yeah, you know one thing still. We look upon Shelly and Fraser Price. And me always say, boy, she would have beat me going 100 meter right now. But if me and her are going to the weight room, I go outbench her. I go squat more than she.
Right.
Are just two different things. Right? And we just need to accept those things and stop acting like, you know, we all can do the same thing. We all can't do the same thing. Right? I can even touch upon something like childbirth. Right? Everybody said childbirth is very painful. But women do it over and over, right? 2, 3, 4, 5 kids, right?
Optimum.
Let me ask something, G. Cole. If I kick in your nuts right now, would you want to do it again?
Nope.
No. It's a different kind of pain. And it don't mean that my pain harder than yours or worse than yours. It's just different because we're built differently. Right? Certain thresholds and certain things are just different. So I just need us to understand that and stop act like, say, we are this equal down the road. Because we really aren't. And I accept that.
Right.
Even today at the office, I don't remember what the young lady said, but she said, yeah, I like being a woman right now. Right?
It's just cool.
It was cool being a woman right now. So I'm just saying it's different. Just accept it. I accept it.
Right.
Right? And it's true. When it comes to finances and relationships, Bridget,
Yeah.
I've looked at the study.
Yeah.
More than half the marriages that end in divorce is because of finances. And we don't take time to have that discussion.
It is because of finances, but a lot of time we have to be clear with that because it's not what we think or how it's stated. Blessings, brother. Blessings. Salute.
Man, if we get on the camera, but I drink a juice right now.
Cool, no, man.
And, yo, the thing is sweet, man.
Yeah, I know.
Like it still.
That's the one that make your things get no stronger than it more than
Yeah, man.
Yeah. But the thing is, I remember all that. But
The juice lick him and hurt it.
let me ask this, because this is something that has come up in a previous conversation, right?
Yeah.
The term having your stuff together. You remember that term there?
Yeah.
When it was said, okay, she wants to meet somebody who
Has-
have their crap together.
This shit together.
What in your eyes does having your stuff together means? And in your eyes also, is it a different meaning for a man than it is for a woman?
It's different because we both contribute differently to the relationship.
Okay.
Right? For a man, having his stuff together means you're self-sustaining.
Financially.
And it's And it's the same thing for a woman, right? Because now you don't want to feel like you have to pick her up out of any drenches, right? Because when you try to pick them out of the drenches, you're setting yourself up for failure because they tell you, don't be Captain Saver. You know what I'm saying? So when you know, as a woman, being self-sustaining, because one of the things is, and I think it's very crucial, because some people frown upon cooking, especially for the opposite sex, for the gender. One thing I realize, I enjoy cooking for the woman I'm with. I enjoy cooking for my son. I enjoy cooking for my mother, right? Even though it's not something I do every day of the week, because I'm the one who's pretty much outside, always working.
Right.
But when I do it, even if I'm tired, I don't have a problem with it. And we're not approaching it from a dutiful perspective. We're approaching from how happy am I? Why am I not happy because I'm doing this and he's this? It's not fair that he's da-da-da-da. No, but we play different roles. And there's a reason why the woman's mammalian glands are the way they are, and therefore nurturing and nutrition, to feed, to create that bond, right? And when we extract ourselves from that and then we go into this workforce and we neglect it, and we wonder why things are not working out because you never spent the time to create that connection. One thing my mother would do when she makes stuff for my son, and him ask her about it. She said, oh, what she put in it? She said, I put a lot of love in there. So when him getting tuna sandwich, did you put any love in this one? And he's like, yeah. And she said, yeah. So he's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Those are the things that we're not understanding, we're missing when we decide to go to the drive-through. Besides, we're not planning our time well. And because you're not planning your time well, you're not getting the outcomes you're supposed to get, your desired outcomes, because you're not investing into it. So the investment is more than just being beside the person. What's the quality of that time you're spending?
Right.
And one thing, for me, for my son, what I like is when we're cooking or baking, he's in the mix.
Right.
You know, and I like to bring him in the mix because him feel good. I hold the thing, make it go bzzz. You know what I'm saying? Too many of us chase our children away. And why I bring this up is, why it's important is we have to learn to bring people into your sphere, engage them. You know, not enable them, not chastise them for not doing it or not doing it how you want them to do it. Bring them in an engaging fashion. And I
So the
think we
kid
don't
is an
do that.
example here, but you're talking about it in general.
In general, yeah. You know, because I've had, you know, ex-girls who feel like them shouldn't, they're not supposed to cook at all. I'm supposed to carry them to dinner all the time.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, I don't know who you think you're dating, but you see the way my pockets are set up?
So hold up.
Yeah.
So hold on. Let me make sure I understand. All right, and especially for folks listening, Kay has some comments I'm gonna get to in a sec. So you're saying you were dating somebody, and she expected you to take her out to dinner all the time
On a regular basis?
on a regular basis. Now this was one. So she didn't want to cook, so you should take her out to dinner. So and of course, she also would rather you take her out to dinner and you cook also.
Yeah, because if I cooked, it was almost like,
It wasn't as appreciated.
yeah, like
So
you can't
that- so-
afford. No, I'm like, no, I can't. That's why I went and bought the bull beef and rice.
So hold on. So the value in what you did came with what you spent for it, not how much effort you. So if it took
Exactly.
you 10 minutes to drive to the restaurant and to just take some money out of your pocket and pay for it, and she eats and you go home, it's more valuable than if you spent 2 hours preparing the meal
To her.
to her.
Yeah.
No, I can see why that relationship didn't work. No, that definitely. I won't put anybody out there, but that's not a keeper. So
Yeah.
because the thing, but here's my question to you, like I've asked many, those qualities that made you not want to pursue anything further with that person, were they there? Were they evident from the get go?
The qualities, of course, you know, everybody put their best foot forward.
The audition
initially.
tape.
Yeah, the audition tape. You know, but that one didn't last long.
Okay.
You know, it didn't go past 3 months, I believe.
Do you still keep in contact with that person?
No.
Is she around? Is somebody you see or no? That's totally.
No. It was like a whole nother state when I was living at that time.
Okay. Because I always wonder when it comes to people like those, what's life like now? You know what I mean?
Remember them time I just left college and I struggle. You see? So I try my best to do my thing. You see
So
me?
was she a college person too?
I don't remember.
Was the same age group?
Yeah, we're like around 2 or 3 years difference. But I can't remember if she had graduated college or did college or anything like that. I just can't remember that. But
Could she afford to take herself out and you out?
I would, you know, I don't know. I can't remember that. G.
But she expected you to.
But she did have an expectation of me to do X, Y, Z.
I should state that up front.
It was implied from our first date.
Damn. Here's and I'll say this. I'll toss my experience in. When I was probably, because I still had my daughter already, so I was probably mid 20s. There was this girl at work. Fine, right? That's normally where the first problem starts. You know? Fine, right? And no good story starts up like, yo, bro, she was fine, right? So there's this girl at work, and one of my homegirls, my good friend, was so adamant and insistent that I date this girl, right? Don't ask me. I think it was just that I was focused on making a lot of money. You know, I just bought a condo, so you know, I mean, you put on a lot of money on it. So I'm young, probably 22, right? And bringing it all back together, casually dating and whatever. So you don't know, I mean, I really want to mess in the workplace, so because me don't know in the back of my mind, and then forever thing around here. You know what I mean? So, but nonetheless, I sat there one evening and we had talk. It was the three of us were about to leave out. My homegirl was still not wrapped up, so me and her did a talk. And believe it or not, she mentioned there, right then and there, that whomever she dates pays her phone bill, right? And I said, straight up, I was like, you must be out. I said, hell no, right? And then afterwards, I bounced that nothing happened. And a couple weeks after, it came back up with my friend. And she was like, oh, no, I was just joking.
No.
I was just playing. I just said that to whatever the case may be. I'm like, where did that come from out of the blue?
No.
You know what I mean? But to me, that's why I keep asking, where are the signs there from the get-go? Because this is something, even joking or not, which I knew she was not, there's no way in hell. No way in hell
Yeah.
that I would have embarked on a relationship with her.
You see, she's one of those people you leave at the gate. she doesn't come up the driveway.
Right.
And if you allow her up the driveway, it's all your fault.
Right.
No one else to blame but yourself.
Kay says equal access opportunity.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I gotta stop it. You know, does not mean I'm forced to do things that I am not capable of. It means I can do whatever I choose to do without someone telling me that I'm not capable of. I definitely understand. That's why I said I don't want to be forced to be a man to be valued. Meaning I do not have to lift 100 pounds like a man to be valued at work. But if I choose to lift that 100 pounds, let me do it. At work, yes.
Choose.
At work, I will let my coworker lift the 100 pounds.
Choose.
I am going to disallow. I want to say disallow. I can't force somebody not to do it.
So,
but I'm going to go hard at it for my wife to not do it. My coworker couldn't care less.
Right. But you see, she chooses to do what she wants to do.
Right.
That reminds me of some athletes I coach that want to choose the events they want to run. It ain't going to fly on my team.
Why?
No. Because I'm the leader of the team.
But she wants to do the 100 meter.
Because at the end of the day, when you run that race and you run slow, guess who people look at?
Oh, the coach. So he said, you're going to run what I tell you to run.
Yeah, because one thing I learned when I was a manager at McDonald's was aces in their places. And we seem to have forgotten that because, I should be able to do this because I can. No, aces in your places.
Right.
If you check the stats, I want you to do a visual the next time you go to a restaurant like that, a quick service restaurant. Look at what we consider normal beauty. And look at that drive-through. Look at who is ordering, look at who is cooking, and look at who is cleaning.
I said the hotties are at the window, right?
I'm just saying, aces in their places. Now, if you can't take the order and so forth, we're going to have to put you somewhere else.
Right.
But on a general scale...
So you're saying the physical attributes determine where they put you in a corporate structure too. I remember when I was in Jamaica growing up.
But hold on. Remember there was a lady who got fired from her dentist practice because she was too hot.
Wow.
Real
What do you mean?
The dentist's wife, who was a part of the business, said, you have to fire her because... And the dentist said, in his court hearing, he would say, yeah, because I fear that I would have a relationship with her. And he won the case.
Wow. Kay says, if you are capable, you would be allowed to do it. Gender roles limit us as human beings. Some women are stronger than men. That is, I ain't questioning that. No,
Lord.
You do have circumstances, but as I said, me personally, it's something about my wife doing too much physical money. I not dig it. But as far as everything
wife
else,
worked on a construction site, she now gonna be the one where I use the jackhammer, right?
No.
She's going to be the engineer. She's going to be the one going over the plans, right? Not the jackhammer, and not the sledgehammer, none of that.
Yeah, you just don't want to put people beyond their physical. But here's the thing, though, and again, a lot of time, I think the thing with these conversations is the responses are generally more so from the women. Because there are equal amount of men watching right now. But men don't comment. And the reason why men don't speak and don't comment is because they have a woman at home that they're going to have to answer to. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing here. So that's right. So I don't want it to seem like the women are coming at you.
What you know, Jico? You and your girl get into a fight. Somebody call the police.
Oh, Lord.
Police come. Who first welfare them I go check upon?
Hers.
Are you all right, ma'am? And she could sit there and say, yo, I really don't like you today. Oh, my God. Right? And you're gone for the weekend, and it's Memorial Day weekend, say, nah, come on till Tuesday, because judge the work.
Damn.
I'm just saying
Suzette says, my opinion, people need to have conversations to see if they have anything in common besides physical. I would never start seeing someone before having that necessary probing and conversation to know if this is a person you want to spend your time with.
There you go.
I do agree with that. I'm going to say this, though. And this is a trait amongst individuals. There's a difference between reality and rationality, right? A lot of things we state is rationality, what's on paper, right? It's not reality, right?
Right.
There's an organic approach to relationships. Just all these questionnaires and your 5-year plan, and like we spoke with, what do you want? If I meet a lady and we go to dinner and you ask me anything, this is first date, anything about finances and down the road and this and that. Ask me about the game, ask me about the food, ask me about the country, ask me about whatever. If I get any of those, I'm searching for a spouse questionnaire kind of vibe, I'm out. Right? And I think that's just me. I know we differ in that regard. But even with what she's saying pretty much is these probing questions, it's the fact that there's a time and place for everything. You know? Once the relationship is growing somewhere, but what she's saying pretty much is at inception, you're asking certain questions. You can't ask me certain questions right off the bat because I am going to think of it as, what are you here for? You know what I mean? Are you looking for somebody to take care? If you keep asking me about my money and my finances and stuff like that, then automatically my disposition is going to be like, are you after it?
But you see, the question now is, when do you actually bring it up, or how do you get to talk about it? And that's where emotional intelligence comes in. And a lot of us lack that level of EQ.
Because you can get the answers without probing. Right? And to be perfectly honest with you, that's what dating is. Dating is getting to know somebody and whatever the case may be, right? Once you get to a point where, I like that person, let's get into, do you want to do an exclusive relationship? Then you can move on from this, all right? And again, it's still just a relationship. Then the next step after that might be, okay, we're probably contemplating a future now. Then at that point in time, you can start go down certain roads. But the whole concept of auditioning a spouse, to me, is a problem. It sounds to me like it's an insert spouse here situation going on.
But that's how women show up after they reach 35.
Oh, so it's the age that is the issue.
Yeah.
But what about the men that are like that? Because I've heard that men are like that, and I see men that are like that. The problem is, here's the men who are like that. Men who go out with women who they think they are more financially endowed than the woman is. Right? I know dudes that will go on a date with a woman who doesn't have as much as them, and 9 times out of 10 they're older too. So it's not like somebody the woman don't have the money. She's had less time to accumulate this. You get what I'm saying? So the man has that approach. It's almost like you are auditioning the woman, and to me I think that's whack. Right? But as far as I'm concerned, I don't know if it's a woman thing or is it just a ego thing and who's yielding the ego and the power at that point, because men do it too.
Yo, it's a never-ending tale. I don't know if you could ever get to it because, as I said, I think that I just gotten to a point where I appreciate the differences now in relationships and people's dynamics and personal, the things that they want to do. I don't really try to, be a judge about what somebody decides to do, right? I just know for me, I don't want things X, Y, Z, and if I find that person, I find that person, right? But they're far and few, but they're out there. You just got to be willing to go through the weeds, man. The grass is always greener, but you still got to go cut it. You know what I'm saying?
Do you believe in 50-50 in terms of we come to the table together as, we're jointly going out there to work and these bills, we put everything in a pot and then everything is coming out to, the bills get paid, the vacation, split up however you want.
Yeah, because of the way of life is, in terms of, where the cost of living is now, the average salary does not take care of nothing right now.
Right.
So you have to be really an above average earner if you want to go take care of everything per se.
Right.
There's a financial lady named Susie Armand.
Big fan.
And I heard her years ago. I think I was still living in New York at the time when I heard her, when she was much younger. And she says that in a household, you should split bills based on the percentage that each bring in. So let's use an easy number, 100,000. The family makes 100,000. You make 60, she makes 40. So you pay 60% of the bills, she pays 40, and all that goes into one pot, right? And I remember, and I was just talking to my high school girlfriend about this a couple days ago, and I was like, when we were much younger, and we went to Bayside to go hang out, if I had $1 and you had $1, we had $2. So whereas the meal would cost $1.50, you weren't looking to me to turn my dollar into $1.50 so we could eat. You put your dollar in and we bought food.
She was still young. Does she feel that way now?
She does, actually. She does.
You need to hook up with her.
No. She's been happily married since 1996.
Why is she talking to you, player?
So, me and her are a good friend. Can't stop the friendship there.
I'm just playing.
But when we were talking about it, it's like, that was like incredible. But no, No, some women will be making the same money you or more than you, and they're still looking at you to do 100%. That's why I like Susie Armand's balancing act, where she just puts everything on a percentage. So you have this one thing, all the money for the bills going there, and you have this left over.
One person said to me in a conversation before that it's a culture thing, that philosophy that you say is not taught in black communities. It is said that black women teach their daughters to find a man to take care of them. So that's the reason why when people come together, the mindset is not, let's build together. Because I think that word is, there are certain words and phrases that are thrown out, right? Queen, king, right? Build, team, they are thrown out. But the definition varies based on who it is. You know what I'm saying?
All I know is that in the game of chess, the queen protects the king.
Yeah, that's funny idea. Let's get with what I'm gonna take a comment here before.
Well, how much more time we have? Because I know we're gonna talk about the bingo things next week. You know.
No, we got you.
Okay.
We got you. It's our world, man.
Okay.
Sonia says the whole concept on a woman's contribution to the home has changed enormously. Back in the West Indies, most women stayed at home. The husband was a primary breadwinner. In foreign countries, that was no longer the norm. Both parties work. The women, unfortunately, in most cases, are still shouldering the full responsibilities of all the household duties, which can be an issue if we work equally and then she shoulder more at home. Then that in itself can definitely be a problem. Is a problem and shouldn't be that way. All right. I've seen women suffer in the UK. Back then, there was one car in the home. The husband was the driver. On the weekends, you would see women struggling with heavy shopping bags while their husbands were in the betting shops at home watching TV or in the barber shop. Sinful. I'm that father who would roll up and, if my daughter, anyways, my daughter could not be struggling down the road with bags in her hand and you are lounge. Me in the business, how much money you make?
You see, now that thing we know when I grew up, Regine, so me and my mother go market, right? And if my father was home, he would meet us at the bus stop, or he would send my brother to the bus stop. We're only 2 years apart, me and my brother. So, while him, right? And shouts to my father, Glenn. Yo, he would cook the food in a Regine, but you know what to me, he ate to my father. He put the gravy upon the bottom of the rice.
And then put the rice on it. So he had a formula. Yeah, big up yourself, Glenn.
Yo, even though he might contribute 15, I'm gonna say, yo, Bridget, put the gravy on the top of the rice, brother.
but he was cooking.
Yeah.
He held it down.
Him now I'm stealing him, man.
Yeah.
And some simple stuff the man cooking out.
Yeah. But gravy goes at the bottom.
Damn,
Pops, messed it up. ZZ says, I know this may not be popular, but I'm waiting to hear where does God the Creator fits into this scenario where relationships concerned. He's the one who made us, so naturally He's willing and teaching must be first. Let me ask you this. Whoa, I do have that to ask about. How important, and church and spirituality are two different things.
Right.
How important is spirituality in a relationship? Is it important at all?
Spirituality does carry play a big role for me. I'm not religious, but it does weigh a big deal, because if you believe in all this spiritism and me and you not really work well, right?
I mean, if they're overly religious, it not gonna work.
Yeah, over religious it not gonna work, right? But to me, I spiritually, I just feel that we are the God that we are. Right, and there is nothing this intermediary that we're using. The what you call it now, the pastor now the Monday I tell you all kind of things. I'm not really
subscribe to that.
I'm not really subscribe to that because you find say them Monday are just man, just like me and you, and you really have to. When you talk about meditation, I think that's where you get closer to God, because you have to really center yourself, ground yourself. And let be still, like God itself could say. And we don't do that enough because we're too stimulated by stuff outside. We have to just pull everything back in. Take a few moments out there for walk barefoot in the grass, Those little things I like. But I'm not really into the everyday
The religions and the
Church.
rituals and all
Church,
that. Yeah.
yeah.
Zizi, that answers the question. He's not necessarily that. I am a spiritual person. Over the years, believe it or not, I've gone to church less. We've had this conversation with me and my wife today, so probably need to go a little bit more. But the thing is, I'm spiritual, pray 10, 20 times a day sometimes. But it's not a ritual. It's not it's just life. Something happened to you.
Yeah.
I'm probably praying. But talk to you right now. I'm probably off the phone. I'm probably gonna say I pray for you. Come on, make sure everybody's good. That's how I am. I do think that everything in life, strength is our weakness, right? The same. The cure is the poison. So what happens a lot of times is you have people out here that instead of facing reality, instead of taking care of their lives and their marriages and stuff like that, they do what people say is put it in the hands of God, right? They're not doing the work, you know. I'm just being honest with you. I do find when I was growing up in Jamaica, there are so many situations. Majority of the situations, the husband there at church every Sunday. The wife there at church every Sunday. Husband's not normally there, right? And I see as I grow up into adulthood, you see those relationships where the marriage is almost secondary to the church relationship. You know what I'm saying? And that is where most value is placed. So it's almost like if Monday, your husband say, babe, we are go such and such. But your pastor say, no, we need to go such and such. You go with the pastor, go. And that to me is damning and dangerous. Anytime I believe in God, and many do, and some don't. But at the end of the day, you were created. You were given mind and autonomy to think. I think oftentimes when people don't want to think and don't want to shoulder their own responsibility, they do whack stuff or they don't do at all and they say it was God. You know what I mean? So that's how I see there. Zizi says, sorry, bro, we're sinners, which absolutely so true. You're not God. There is but one God. Oh, she's talking about what you said. I feel you, Zizi.
Yo, let me tell you something, man. That's how I rate my pastor green when me a young youth at church, you know. Pastor tell the woman them say, yo, him not keep them past hours, you know, because him a female for go home to as well.
Facts.
And the man say, yo, anyone not go to church where the pastor keeping the past hours, stop go to church there.
Right.
Because enough time them woman there, you know, me used to hear them a walk, you know, like in the night, because we used to bathroom or get some water. Me here talking outside. Peep through the window. No, like 3 or 4 sister walk, go up 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Why the pastor never drop them home?
No, say
Our creator have a bus for them at the end of church.
Yeah, but my walk from pastor yard. It's a whole different ball game, you know.
Yeah.
How important we talk about this whole money thing when it comes to relationship, right? Let's talk friends, right? Is it important to get along with her friends? Is it important she gets along with your friends? And if the relationship with the friends is not a beautiful one, is that a big deal for the relationship?
You have to look at the types of friends, right? So for me, quite honestly, for lack of a better description, I would not date someone who has friends who are very wayward, who get themselves into a lot of trouble.
Birds of a feather.
Yeah, birds of a feather flock together. So you might look good on everything. You have to extract yourself from that first and create a new circle of friends. Because your friends show you know, your grandma used to say, show me your friends and I tell you who you are. Them thing that are true.
Facts.
Very much facts. And the same thing in a relationship.
So what you're saying is this. I'm trying to understand.
Yeah.
If you're dating a girl and she got some friends that are loose and promiscuous, right?
Me not, you know that.
Yeah, even though she say she's not. Because the thing about it pretty much is this, and like I said, birds of a feather. So normally, guess what happened? Wow. I always find it hilarious, and it's not just women, men do it too. When they got a whole bunch of, let's just say men, they have a whole bunch of criminal friends, but they'll tell you they are the only one in the bunch that's a saint. Right?
Me don't believe them, they neither.
You say it don't work that way?
It don't work that way there. Every man I gonna know a tuggy, see?
Right.
Because you grew up with them. You go high school with them. You gonna know one man.
Right.
But every other man, Bridget, that not make it.
Yeah.
You see me? So same thing with a woman. If our friend them is so no, it not gonna way.
No, the other thing pretty much is this.
I've
always felt like, you know, you have to be very, very careful who you seek your counsel from. Because 9 times out of 10, the person who's more willing to give you advice and oftentimes very, very proactive in giving advice is 9 times out of 10 the least qualified to give it. Right? It's how dangerous is it, or is it at all, for people who are in committed relationships, even marriages, to mitigate the relationships that are with single people? So in other words, you married, you need to power with married people and stop power with a bag of single people.
But now I say you're not saying you necessarily do that. But when you have certain issues, leave them out of your problems. Even your married friend, them leave them out of your problems. Because whereas you and your wife are 50-50, in my house, 100-0. Different.
And you're going to influence me, might come to you for some advice or whatever, involve you in it, and you influence me in your direction.
Yeah. And because that's my vantage point. That's how I see it. That's something I always say, yo, get professional help.
Okay, so but you do have people who feel like things do happen and they need to talk to. I'm a private person, right? And as well as I always feel like, knock on wood, and thus far I've never encountered any problem that serious.
Yeah.
That the two of us couldn't talk it out. I've never had an issue that bad where we had to go to bed at night with ill feelings toward each other. Well, at least we can speak for myself. Maybe she don't like me. But the thing is, I've never been in a situation where anything was that bad. You know, people always talk about, I'm going to sleep in the other room, I'm sleep in the couch. Never,
Yeah,
right?
That's good.
That now got, man. And I've stated this explicitly. This is my bed. This is your bed. So the theory of kicking somebody out of the bed, no work.
That no work.
If you feel like you want to get up out of the bed, I have a problem with that. However, you cannot kick me out of this bed. Even though 4-bedroom in the house. And I have options. Nobody can tell me I'm not sleeping on my bed tonight. I don't care what the reason is. Right? And vice versa. I should never be able to tell you that. Right? The other thing pretty much is this. We have to figure out what we figure out, but you're not supposed to get up on top of you're sleeping on another bed tonight.
True that.
You know what I mean? Because that to me is the beginning of failure. Because this tomorrow night you're sleeping in the next bedroom, the next bedroom, next couple of nights from now you might not be sleeping in the house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when it comes to handling your stuff and dealing with other people outside of it, I do believe that go seek some professional help. The one that I disagree with wholeheartedly and 100% is the people who seek the counsel from the pastor.
Of course.
Yes, so you have your relationship problems.
Of course.
ZZ, you and I go left on one. I think the last person in the world you should ever go seek counsel from for your relationship problems is your church leader or your pastor.
Yeah, that's why Stephen Jackson never get married to the girl. Cause she don't wanted a prenup, and the pastor what she know from she youth I tell her no prenup. Isn't it?
So her pastor friend influencing her to say she ain't signed no prenup.
Yeah. I'm going to talk about that man, he might have little money.
Right. He's a professional athlete.
Yeah.
So, but it's one of those things that I hear it come up a lot in terms of, the things that go on in the household. How do you handle them? Because if two people are having an argument, there's a reason why it's an argument, right? We've not seen eye to eye.
I see arguments as an area of opportunity to grow. That's how I see them, right? But too many of us see it as a problem. And until you switch that you turn it over, you turn that switch,
right?
In your head, that is not a problem; it's an opportunity. Me go to an all boys school. The man them who have the best relationships right now, and the man them who have the biggest fight in high school.
True, I've seen that.
You know what I mean? Even my bridging right now, I down in a Miramar. Yo, the man give me a ratty liquid of stone for my ankle, because I never want to lend him a bicycle,
Right.
See?
I can relate. I know exactly
what I'm son.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
You see me?
So you got to go through the fire.
Yeah.
Let them say the hottest fire make the hardest steel.
Yeah.
But the truth is this, when it comes to arguments, I know people who argue, not for the solution, but for the argument. So a lot of times, remember, you are saying that the argument's an opportunity to grow.
Yeah.
But that's your purpose.
That's my purpose.
The other person sees the purpose of the argument is to win it, right?
Yeah.
So unless you relent or concede, this argument is infinite.
Right.
Or it's just, growing. It's just growing, it's getting worse. So at that point in time, even then you don't see the need to seek some outside.
No, I do believe in outside help in terms of professional help, right? Neutral professional help. So I'm not call you who have your psych degree if you got to sit down and talk to you. Plus, I think if they know you, it's like a conflict of interest. You have to get somebody who you don't know. So if we get to that point there and we can't get there, then we can't get there. You have to know when to pull back and throw in the towel. You have to know when to concede. You know, and sometimes you don't know when or what is really happening. So.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a vibe. We're having a conversation. You know, before we forget about it, let's talk about this bingo thing you have coming up in Sean.
You can't have, you have the flyer for show up. Anyway.
You just send me the flyer?
Yeah, man, me saying the flyer.
Yeah, no.
But anyway, let me tell the people about the bingo. If you find it, you find it. So, I don't know if you know the song Prodigy Movements.
Yes.
So, one of DJ Kevin, aka Glamour Fire, Zane, him have pancreatic cancer.
Wow. Young dude.
Zane. I think you're probably 2-3 years younger than me, probably if not more. And because of the cancer now, it's been like about 6 months now, no work. Him have the GoFundMe go on. One of his co-workers from the airport when work have the GoFundMe go on. But I mean, it make its way. It move little. And me decided to do this bingo night a couple months ago. So once we get the news about the cancer, I'm going to say, no, I might just turn it into a charity for the brethren. Right? So basically, it's a bingo night, but instead of numbers and balls where I drop beats, I drop music. So upon your sheet, you're going to have music. So Wayne Wonder, like a Bojo, like a Eve, you know, this and that.
Yeah.
It's like a party. So I juggle music, you know. But as you hear your tune,
you check off.
You check off on your bingo sheet. And if you win, if you get a regular bingo, cross, down, horizontal, of course, you get a prize. Or give us some gift cards, some gas cards. And if you clear the board, it's a $200 prize, right? But the tickets right now is at Eventbrite. You have to type in Beats and Bingo. Let me type in the chat room there.
Beats and Bingo?
Yeah, put on my glasses for that. Because, me, I get owl.
You're good, man. I'm worried about it. Good.
Yeah. So it's up next week, Thursday, at the Castle Gardens Clubhouse. That's 4850 Northwest 22nd Court, Lauderhill, Florida, 33313. And you can get your tickets right now at beatsandbingo.eventbrite.com. Tickets are only $30. So please buy it out. We're going to have free limited buffet. The doors open at 6. And people can actually come in and we'll start playing at 7. We're going to play 2 games. So if you check out in the message, beatsandbingo.eventbrite.com. The tickets are only $30. So if you can, just go ahead and purchase 2 tickets right now. Bring a friend. And it's BYOB, so bring your own drink. We don't drink our drink already. BYOB, so please come on out and give support because the proceeds are going to go to DJ Kevin and his family, the Williams family. I think the GoFundMe now reached 14, and I think they're trying to get to 50. So hopefully we can, put a significant amount on that from the Beats and Bingo night. So that's next week, Thursday, September 29. So you might have whoever I think for listening to your show might have to skip the show.
On Thursday.
Yeah.
Well, I think it is. It would be a worthy night to skip it. It would be a worthy night to skip it. Let's personalize that a little bit. So because obviously the people who are going to be there are people who are in the local area, right?
Yeah.
So this is in Lauderhill.
Yeah.
Where? I mean, I know we always toss out addresses, and I will put the poster. I'll put the flyer in the chat and stuff like that. Where there? It's
Castle Gardens. It's close to Florida Medical. For the local people, it's close to Florida Medical.
Okay.
You go down Florida America, you make a left, and you see a big old castle.
441.
No.
Oakland Park. Oakland Park, yeah.
Go down next to Florida Medical. Made a left out, I think, I don't remember the area. I think 22nd or 21st.
Okay, I know the area. Okay, I was trying to visualize. Okay,
yeah.
okay.
You see the big old white building? That's where it's going to be.
Like a condo building.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be upstairs. So just
and
try.
It's a $30 ticket.
$30 ticket.
On Eventbrite.
Yeah.
Is Eventbrite the only option for buy a ticket?
We'll probably do something right there and then,
You can buy stuff you can come at the gate.
Yeah.
All right, Massive and Crew. The thing is this. Here's how I am when it comes to the charity thing. There's a whole bunch of charity stuff that I've been a part of and I've done this and that, and People, when them don't want to contribute, them find any kind of excuse, right? So them will tell you this and that. And, oh, I'm not doing it for the United Way, I'm not doing it for UNICEF. You don't do it for the homie anyway, so whatever, right?
Yeah.
So it is what it is. But at the end of the day, as a community, when things like these happen to our folks,
Yeah.
I don't even look at it like we have to come to any rescue and do this or do this.
Yeah.
The truth is, if I drive out of my house Friday, after work hours, it's probably going to cost me more than $30. You know what I'm saying? I swear to you. I'm somehow, some way, I'm going to have to spend some money.
Yeah.
So just think of it one day, say, boy, you know something? You spend some money today, but you spend it for another cause.
Yeah.
And you know, this is not the GoFundMe that pops up on Facebook. These are humans. I know Prodigy. Like I said, I didn't know anything about this. You asked me what if I know. I was like, no, I didn't know.
Yeah.
These are human beings. That people will know. You know. I was gonna ask you something in these questions, and I'm gonna get a little bit with it because, you know, we're talking about mature people and grown folks, and it's funny. 40 are grown, right? I remember when I was a kid, I thought that grown was probably about like 60 or whatever, right? Do you realize that everybody about 42 years old and more have something?
Brother.
Something are going on with everybody that's alive right now is over 42. And some people, no, I'm a pillar of health, I'm in the gym. The most people who me see chip out in the last 10 years are people who are in perfect physical shape.
Quote unquote.
Quote unquote, right?
Yeah.
We all have something going. It's just a matter of what. Some persons have high blood pressure, some people have diabetes, some people have that, right? That's the reason why when we talk nowadays about, damn my Lord, every time I look on Facebook, I see a rest in peace, somebody gone. It's just that we all have a lot of stuff that's going on with us. And the reason why I mention that is going out there in the dating world also. That's something that is a big thing because as you go out there for a date right about now, you're highly likely going to meet somebody that got something that is going on. I said the person is 2 weeks from the grave now, you know, Sean. But how does that affect how you look at the dating prospect when you start dating somebody? Are you like, yo, if you ain't 100% pill of health, then I just can't rock, I can't do it?
No, it's a sliding scale. It's obviously a sliding scale now because, you know, you're not young anymore, so you're not fresh out the womb. You're not fresh. You know, you're not 20 and fabulous no more. You know, check engine light is on now, bro.
Wow.
You know, and you have to know what you can and want to deal with. But even if you meet somebody who has an issue, let's say you meet the perfect person, everything is fine.
Right.
And then they step out and get licked by something, and then paralyzed something, you sit down. What you gonna do?
Yeah.
And shout outs to a virgin, Jamie Nieto. He's a U.S. high jumper who's married to Siobhan Studdard, a Jamaican athlete, former Jamaican athlete. And he went to the Olympics 2 times. He's a high jump coach. And he was teaching some kids how to high jump. Did a regular backflip like he always does. Landed improperly, paralyzed.
Wow.
And he still got married, still got his youth afterwards with Siobhan. And he's in movies, you know, as a paralyzed guy.
Right.
At his wedding, you know, they said he would never walk again. But now he's walking. But of course not like me and you walk. But as you said, what are you willing to deal with? And that takes a certain character that many of us don't possess.
Right.
Because we want everything so convenient.
Right.
And so much at our fingertips, so much accessibility, so much comfort and convenience. And so that's why I said that's a beautiful couple right there.
Wow, big ups to them.
You know, because they got married after the accident. He walked down the aisle.
Wow.
I saw this video on Facebook. He was on my show years ago, man, when he was still popping over the high jump bar in the Olympics.
Right. You never know what tomorrow is.
You never know.
You know, wow. Jano. My thoughts go out to everybody going through what they're going through, and like I said, everybody's going through something.
Yeah.
You know, I know people right now are going through some stuff that I know I couldn't deal with. You know what I'm saying? I'm Marky, I'd have to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's just a challenge. Thursday, September 29th, from 6 to 9 p.m. Oh, so it's not even a late vibe. Castle Gardens Clubhouse, right in Lauderhill. It's $30 to do it. And that sounds to me, the reason why I want to go over this is because it don't even sound like, okay, just about the church. It sound like, yo, if more want something for the on a Friday, yo, this sound like a vibe still.
Is that easy vibe on
I'm
a
not
Thursday
telling no
night?
lie.
Easy
It
Thursday
sound like
night
a
vibe.
sound like a vibe. Sound like a vibe.
Yeah, man.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you can't support, I'm gonna post the flyer a little bit later. My good friend Sonny says, my theory is never go to bed angry at, to the point of not speaking. If you choose to sleep at the edge of the bed, I'm right there beside
It's
you.
true.
See? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not on it. Made up on foolishness. ZZ says, no, G. Cole, I disagree. The pastor is the one that gives premarital counseling, so therefore the pastor is person you first seek for counseling. Most pastors already have the knowledge of marriage and relationship counseling. And again, like I said, that's what we disagree still, because I think it's a conflict of interest when it comes to the pastors. Pastors are pastors, so they do have an agenda. Them marry and the whole nine or whatever the case may be. So yes, they want to see that thing work by all means, even if by all means mean your unhappiness and your misery, right? And to be perfectly honest with you, I don't think counseling, just like I don't think mental health and stuff like that, that is not the job where experience give you. You need to go learn, right? If that pastor's telling me, okay, he has experience in marrying people, you have people who are marrying people who are not pastors,
Yeah.
right? You could be a justice of the peace and marry somebody.
A judge.
You could be a judge and marry somebody, right?
A notary.
A notary public and marry somebody. So the truth is, the fact that you're marrying people does not give you any expertise at all. It's just a job, right? So most pastors don't necessarily do that, especially the fact that most pastors also have not gone to theology school, right? Some people, nowadays, pastor. Even back then, most people are in calling, and it's pastorship a lot of times, especially in traditional churches, is passed down generation to generation a lot of times. So truth be told, I just don't think they're the most qualified to do it. I think a lot of times that's the faith speaking right there a lot of times too, is that you're faith-based and you feel, say, because your pastor to you represents God. He works for the man upstairs. That's the reason why we look at the pastor that way.
Yeah.
It's not because he's qualified to counsel you. It's because he works for God.
He's the man
of
God.
The man of God. But the truth is, if God was doing quality assurance with many of these pastors, enough of them would get pink slip and fired long time.
In the QA department.
If there was a QA, just a lot of them are still pastors because God ain't like man, right? Again, I don't think they have the knowledge of pastoring and stuff like that, because who's counseling them for them situation in their marriage? I mean, they mean for go to.
Them talk to themselves.
I remember watching this thing on it was on OWN or TV One or one of them things. And it was the same thing. The pastors who were having marital issues, right? And the pastor had a professional that they went to. So if you have a professional where you go to, why in the heck wouldn't I go to the same professional? Why am I coming to you? You understand what I'm saying? So I'm just saying pretty much that to each his own. I think that is totally a choice and a preference. And it's also based on faith. You're including the qualifications of your pastor into your faith. But the truth of the matter is this: that pastor is no more qualified than the guy that graduated from Nova. None whatsoever. All the pastors from my church have not less than a master's degree from the seminary. That's not a joke. I bet the offering at your church is expensive to buy. It sound like it's easy. It sound like your church. It sound like your church offering. Anyways, we got to roll, man.
Never care about the bag here.
Yeah, we got to roll. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank y'all first of all for rocking up with us. Sean, thanks for passing through. Having our vibes. It's always great to get different opinions, different viewpoints. Next episode, we're going to have a lady on. I'm sure she's going to have a completely different viewpoint from yours.
Of course, because she's a lady. She has to.
She's and she's supposed to, right? So, talk to the massive where they can find you, though. The Sean Show.
Oh, well, tomorrow night, you don't know me up on Jamaicans.com. 7 to 7:30, where I do track and field, because one of Jamaican darlings, Brianna Williams, she's a switch coach. So she got left from Fort Lauderdale, Miami area, to go live at Jamaica.
So she's leaving Otto.
She's left Otto. Not leaving, has left.
Right?
And she gone at that camp. I'm not tell you which camp. Well, it's in the newspaper.
It's in the paper, as well as, even if regardless of what camp she's in right now, if it's not successful, we know where she's going.
Yeah.
So hopefully that works, and if that don't work, she'll go the next week. You got Jamaica. The reason you make a move like that is because obviously you're not feeling like you're reaching your full potential. You're not feeling like you've achieved the greatness you want to achieve. Not the greatness you can achieve, you know.
Yeah.
The greatness you want to achieve. So what do? You go to the places where the great ones have been developed. Let me ask you this, right, before we get up out of here. Thank you so much, Suzette. Talent-wise, right? Does Brianna have what it takes to be in their ranks with the Shellyans and the Illians of the world? Because a lot of times, hard work is one thing, you know. God-given talent, I want another something. Does she have what it takes? Can she go into Jamaica and training under Jesus himself? Does she have the capability of being in the ranks when history is told of a Illian, of a Shellyan?
And a Sherika.
Or a Sherika. Don't let... Yo,
And
I'm
a
Sherika, I'm so
Carmelita
apologize.
Jetta.
Yeah, well, we're
a
keeping...
Flojo.
We keeping it right now. We keeping it right now.
Merlin Ate.
Jana, you're going too far.
Grace Jackson.
You're going too far. Marion Jones, don't lower her, she's cute.
I will answer that tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Right here on Jamaicans.com. Otherwise, you can catch me at It's The Sean Show. That's my YouTube. And that's my Instagram, It's The Sean Show.
Right.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. Super Jams on a Wednesday from noon till 2. The Sean Show goes on. We were talking about almost anything. What's funny is last time we spoke to this kid who's a kid author. He wrote a book called My Mama Made Me Do It. Really nice guy, really nice book. So we're gonna hear that on YouTube again tomorrow night as well after the other show, after the 7 o'clock show at Jamaicans.com. But check me out tomorrow night, man. We're good to go.
All right. So you will not give any information on Brianna.
Oh yeah, and the news. If you listen to Super Jams, Flex, listen to us, Carry Vibes, Clinton Lindsay. I'm here the newsman. Rock the Box with Sir Rock. I'm here the newsman. So
you be giving the news over there.
me get the news.
Just not getting the news right now.
That's a tea I try to get Bridget.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Your feel say, because I hear Otto all the time, and you know, anytime somebody will leave you for going to get coached by somebody, they're also saying that you're not as good as the other person. Is that relationship? Is a torn relationship, or is it just growth?
No.
Because I don't see Otto as that guy.
No, that's a professional decision. That's not a personal thing. I think Otto will still be... You can't just toss somebody who's been with for 10, 11 years.
Right.
You know, and I don't see that they had a adverse relationship because she's going to need Otto for something else, which I will tell you about tomorrow as well.
Man. I like it. And they've been together for 10 years?
10 years.
How old is Brianna right now?
She's like 20... She born what, 2000? Yeah, I think she's 20. She born May 2002. Yeah, I think she's 20.
So she's been
19,
since she's 10?
Yeah.
She's been running since she's 10?
Before that, because I was in a camp when she was about 8, 9, and she was there as well. You know, nice young. She used to train some Olympians, so she was their rabbit. You know,
has she had, in your opinion, thus far, she had a successful career?
an extremely successful career. She has a gold medal from the Olympics. She has a world championship medal. She has 2 gold medals from the youth. You know, she's the youngest person to win the youth Olympics or youth championships.
Was that team sport or individual sport?
Individual in 100 and 200. She go to Carifta. She win Carifta. Yeah.
So why is it that I don't hear the respect put on Brianna Williams' name
Because
by the populace? Because here's the deal. You see, when Shell, and again, it's about tried and proven, we play the results, right? When Ilian wins, it's great. When she doesn't win, it's all right because she's Elaine and we expected her to win and it happened. Same thing happened with Shelly-Ann, right? If Brianna wins, great. But if she doesn't win, she failed. Do you notice that? People look at it that way?
yeah, because she come from foreign. You know, say Jamaicans still towards them foreign athletes. Them not like the foreign athlete, them, man. When you come down from foreign, like we had a kid from Boyd Anderson who went to Carifta trials, and when he went down there, they didn't call him by his name. They called him America.
Probably was an uncomfortable thing for him.
And Javon remembers that all too well. When he was down there, they called him America. They didn't call him by his name.
Wow.
And that's sad.
Very. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our time to get up out of here. But again, I want to thank y'all. Remember to subscribe to the podcast Homegrown with G. Cole. It's available everywhere: iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Radio.com, wherever you're listening to podcasts, we're there. Remember to follow us on social media at MyGCole. And also, please remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel. The conversation that we had, ZZ, may I come check out your church, you know? I see if I go over to church, then the people in them say I graduate with all the masters, I tell them about, may I charge them. You know, so remember, go to the YouTube channel, Homegrown with G. Cole, subscribe and go ahead and watch that that conversation with one of my favorite athletes. You remember that about athlete? One of my favorite artists, Tanya Stevens. All right? Had a conversation about it all. We talked music, her brand spanking new album, which is this right here. It is called Some Kind of Madness. All right? That's the name of the album. And we spoke about everything, man, from, you know, the sexual abuse, just her views right now, what she deals with, the general public, social media. You know what I mean? The whole night. You know, Tanya's unfiltered and she speaks it like it is, but dope lady to have a conversation with just as much as she's a dope artist, all right? ZZ says it's a Jamaican thing. You're a winner. Remember, you produce the medals. Absolutely. Facts, ZZ. Facts. All right? I gotta roll down.
Nakikinika sa música Homegrown with G. Cole.
Estás escuchando Homegrown con G. Cole.
您现在正在收听的是 Homegrown with G. Cole.
You're listening to Homegrown with G. Cole.